A sellout crowd at Lane Stadium on the beautiful campus of Virginia Tech. Oh, it feels like fall out there already. A cool, breezy day. Temperature just at 57, but it's breezy. There's been drizzles throughout the morning. And tough for the Miami Hurricanes coming from that kind of weather. Butch Davis in his first year as head coach of the Canes. Frank Beamer, the leader of Virginia Tech, now in his 9th season. Certainly not happy with the 0-2 start, the losses to Boston College, and then last week's disappointing loss to Cincinnati. Virginia Tech won the toss. They have deferred. Atle Larsen will kick off for the Hokies.
College Town, USA right here, Mike. The opening kickoff is always the most exciting play in football.
And the Hurricanes have some good returners. Trent Jones and Tony Gator. And we're underway. Tony Gator at his own 5-yard line. And quickly breaks the tackle, tries to get around. Excellent second effort. Gator finally knocked out of bounds at about the 31, but he broke a few tackles. And let's look at the Miami Hurricanes offense. Ryan Collins, of course, the starting quarterback. Jamie German, one of the most highly recruited players in the history of Miami, hoping to fulfill his potential. There's the offensive line. Casey Jones, maybe one of the best centers to ever play for the Canes. And it's a strong offensive line. Collins, the senior, he's getting his chance this year, Dick McPherson.
I think this is the key right here to the 5th-year senior. He's been waiting patiently, had a year under the belt. Let's see how he plays today. There's the I formation we talked about.
Danyell Ferguson and Derek Harris in the backfield. That is Ferguson. Quickly a flag as Ferguson gets maybe a yard or two, but a penalty marker on the first play. Cornell Brown in on the stop.
Coach Davis said he was going to challenge the 8-man front with the I formation and run it at it. He did the first football play.
So our referee Al Hines will meet our audience right away. And apparently it's going to go against Miami.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So not exactly the way to start. Yeah, the Canes have been out on the field for quite some time, and it is very cool. Whereas Virginia Tech went back in the locker room, so they've got to get themselves a little bit warmed up.
It's going to be interesting to see how this affects Miami, because it certainly is weather they're not used to. But in my opinion, it can't hurt them at all, because it's not going to cause them any energy loss.
Then they open up the season with the loss to UCLA, but then took out their frustrations against Florida A&M a couple of weeks ago. Collins will throw. Flushed out by Coleman, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Strong. Let's take a look at the Virginia Tech starting defense, and it's a good one. And Cornell Brown, one of the best pass rushers in the nation over there at the defensive end. The linebackers led by George Del Rico, the captain of the defense. And in the secondary, Lauren Johnson, the freshman, starting in place of Antonio Banks, who's out with an injury, and he's a key player this afternoon. So a 2nd and 15. Ferguson the call. Maybe breaks one tackle. J.C. Price quickly brings him down. And a good start for the Hokie defense.
Again, draw play, and I think Danyell's just trying to find his way and pick. There's no place to go. Very, very good, strong defense. And I think we're talking about some great defensive action here. Big 3rd down play coming up, Mike.
They see Virginia Tech defense. They have done a great job against the run. Miami wants to establish the run. So they're going to butt heads already. A long 3rd down, 3rd and 14 for the Canes. Fumble on the snap. Collins gets it. Brown quickly throws him to the ground. And a punting unit will come on for Miami, and this crowd immediately alive. That is not a bad way to start your defensive afternoon.
I think against Miami, to get the encouragement to start like that is exactly what they want. I think Ryan did the nice thing, picked up the ball, made sure he got it so they have a chance to punt.
Again, the field a little bit wet, and it's been drizzling. Mike Chrissy, the veteran punter. Larry Green is back to receive for Virginia Tech. Hokies so great at blocking kicks. Keep an eye on that. And there's a beautiful kick. Nice and high. And Green leveled right away Trent Jones with the immediate hit. A flag thrown on the play. Maybe one of those celebration penalties.
No, I don't think so. I think he was just a little too close to the guy catch the ball. You got to give him 2 yards. I think that's probably much what happened.
43-yard punt. You might be right, Coach. So already 2 quick penalties against Miami. That negates some of that distance. Chrissy really got a hold.
Interference with the opportunity to make a catch. A 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good call. The guy caught the ball. It's very obvious he didn't interfere. He probably was too close to him and made the hit, but he certainly didn't interfere with it. I think it's a 5-yard penalty at most.
Well, they knock off 15. An excellent field position for Jim Druckenmiller, as they're already in Miami territory.
Just exactly with the deferment what they wanted. They got the ball on the positive side of the field. Only 49 yards to go, 50 yards to go. No pressure on the offense that they have to get field position. They already have it. Nice job by special teams.
Officials still conferring. And this is something that they did not see last week. They had poor field position all afternoon against Cincinnati.
I think they're trying to go back to the 5-yard rule. I hope. I would feel a lot better about it. No, they're not changing the thing.
In our referee, Al Hines, this afternoon. Coach Davis's argument will fall on deaf ears. And they'll start it off at the Miami 48-yard line. Dwayne Thomas and Brian Edmonds, the setbacks for the Hokies. Here's Druckenmiller. Had a tough week last week. Thomas gets maybe 5 or 6 yards, had a nice hole. And Dwayne Thomas with an impressive first carry. Ray Lewis in on the stop.
A lot of poise by the, here we going with the ready offense. They're checking the defense, and then they're going to call the formation, what they want to do from there. Very poised. I think they're confident right now. They've got to keep this up, and he's got a good security blanket where he is on the football field.
So a 5-yard pickup for Thomas. Second down. Druckenmiller kicks it back out to Thomas again. Breaks the tackle and knocked out of bounds. He's got the first down. Dennis Scott couldn't hold on, and Thomas able to get past the first down marker. A 9-yard pickup.
A great call by them. And what I like about the whole thing is going to give Jim Druckenmiller a lot of confidence, because he really executed that option real well. He held on to the ball as long as he could in a nice pitch and a great run by Dwayne.
Carlos Jones finally knocked them out of bounds, but they moved the chains. Ball already down to the Miami 34-yard line. This is exactly what Frank Beamer was hoping for. Their confidence a little shaken last week, but a good start was a must. Again, Dwayne Thomas, a huge hole. Another first down. Finally brought down by Eugene Ridgely, but Thomas is impressive thus far. 14-yard pickup. Boy, that is some hole, Dick McPherson.
Yeah, I think that, again, they gave the flow one way and cut it back. They had a nice linebacker isolated Burgess, and he just wasn't ready to take on the whole thing. And excellent, they've got excellent selection here of what they're doing. They're very much poised in how they're handling it. They're showing the shotgun, then walking up, shifting to the eye. And so Miami doesn't have much time to react defensively.
Again, Thomas breaks one tackle, cuts back inside, and met by a host of Hurricanes. Ridley in on the stop. Let's look at the offensive starters now. For Virginia Tech, Druckenmiller, as we've talked about. Brian Still did not play last week with a shoulder injury, but he is a big play receiver. Jay Haygood, certainly one of the premier guys on their offensive line, and that is such an important part of today's game. They've got to protect and open up some holes, and they've done that so far.
Interesting how they're going right after the middle of the Miami defense.
2nd and 5. Thomas, a real workhorse, and he's close to a first down, maybe a couple of yards short. James Burgess in on that tackle. Miami defense, the ends are terrific, especially Kenny Holmes, one of the best in the Big East last year. In the middle, Ray Lewis, a Butkus Award candidate for this year, one of the premier linebackers in the nation. And Carlos Jones, the only returning starter from a young secondary that's been inconsistent, certainly was against UCLA in that opening loss.
Well, the first critical play in the game is a 3rd down and a long run, almost 2 yards. They've gone into a double tight end offense and power versus power. Let's see what happens here.
In motion. And Thomas has the first down with no problems.
Wait a minute now. Look where they're marking it. It's going to be close.
Well, Miami's starting to clap. It looked like he maybe had it. And they're going to bring out the chains. Looks like they might be short, Dick.
Well, I think you see where he lands, see where he comes through there on the thing.
Yeah, he did
it's
fall.
A good spot.
He did fall. That is a good spot.
There it is.
He had that second effort, but good call by the officials, because after he hit the ground, and they give it to him. Boy, that is close.
Now, I think when you have football plays, this sets the tone for the day. You feel awful good because you get the break, you get the first down, they don't stop. No decision in terms of the field goal right now. This is great for what's happening to the home crowd here at Virginia Tech.
So off the good field position, they have moved the football very well. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Looking to look, certainly changing the play. Thomas again cuts inside and gets maybe 4 yards. They're really running the football well against this Canes defense. Ridley on the tackle.
They are running right or left by the set of the Miami defense. Now again, it's a check off by Jim Druckenmiller, just exactly what the coaches want. He's running away from the strength of the Miami defense. He's checking off, and they're very, very effective right now.
Great block, Edmonds on Burgess to open up the hole there. So 2nd and goal at the 5. Edmonds this time, and he goes nowhere. Benny Fortney on the stop. No pickup there. Fortney's got to come up big. He's the guy that replaces Warren Sapp on that defensive line. They have not been happy with the defensive tackle plays. A lot of pressure on that young fellow.
Well, you can see that Virginia Tech is going right at the middle, just exactly where they're not happy with the defense. Very, very good offensive planning. I think the fullback there just had a tough read on the play and just couldn't get his feet going forward on the thing.
You saw those numbers. Last 2 years that they've played them, they have not scored a touchdown. 3 points last year, 2 points the year before. Druckenmiller himself, maybe a yard. Good defense when it counts now for Miami. James Burgess with the strong hit. So Frank Beamer with a decision.
Well, again, an option play, tremendously well defensed, and I think it was a great call offensively because they put the pressure on the defense. And now we're going to see if we're going to go for the field goal, take the points while you're down in there, was exactly what Virginia Tech is doing. And they're going to try to get the 3 off the hash mark here. Again, I want to emphasize to everybody, it's not as critical as it was before because they've moved the hash line in at about 3 yards. So I think it's pretty effective here that we're going to get a kick. We've got trouble. He's 0 for 2 this year, right, Mike?
0 for 2. Missed him from 35 and 26. This is a 20-yarder, but now we're going to move it back 5 yards on the delay of game. So it's going to be a 25-yarder for Atle Larsen. Lewis says push him back.
Again, you notice from a well-coached football team, they don't mind losing the yardage here. They don't take the timeout. They keep the timeout. They'd rather sacrifice 5 yards than take a timeout here. It's no big problem. I think we're in still good shape for the kick. The young man has got to put it through.
Crowd wanted Frank Beamer to go for it, but the smart move, you want to make sure you come away with points on this first drive.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You need to build the confidence if we're going to be playing against a team like this.
And it looked like it got blocked. No good. They come away empty-handed. Strong drive, but no points. Twan Russell appeared to be the man to get a piece of it. Hard to see on that replay, Dick.
It looked like it came from the backside.
So Virginia Tech falls short. Miami defense with a strong goal line stand.
Aunt Ethel and the whole family are visiting, and you get to play tour guide. Uh-oh, your car's in the shop again, and you need wheels. Headed for a wacky weekend somewhere? Whatever your needs, Budget has the car you need. Budget, a smart place to start.
On the road or at home, Budget has you covered.
The smart money is on Budget.
If you've been injured in an accident, beware of lawyers who will settle your case quickly for less than you deserve. At Donald W. Huffman and Associates, we go head-to-head with insurance companies every day, and we have earned their respect for one reason. They know what we can do in court. If you're an accident victim, come see us, and you'll receive full payment for all your losses. That's our job, and we do it well.
After some trial and error, we've come up with a better chicken sub. Presenting Subway's Hot Chicken Barbecue, now made with big chunks of chicken and plenty of Lloyd's secret recipe sauce. Only at Subway.
Has a field goal attempt of their own block, the 25-yarder.
Now, Larsen is 0 for 3 this year, but again, it's his fault. He didn't get the ball elevated enough in time, so that they're able to leap up and block it. It's not a protection problem. It's solely on the kicker. That's the word will be coming down to Virginia Tech. There's a nice block there, but by the same token, he's got to get it up in the air right from the goal.
Twan Russell, you saw him on the inside, able to get his hand in there and block the 25-yard attempt. So now Miami will take over at their own 20. They did not move the football at all in their first series. And trying to run it. Ferguson and Harris the setbacks. Ferguson the defect. And whistles before the play. Penalty markers again.
Looks like, again, we got a cadence problem because the right guard is offside. I think we've got a cadence problem. It's going to be 1st and 15 Miami.
Dead ball. Full start. Offense.
That's 3 penalties already for the Hurricanes. Not the way you want to start, Coach.
Yeah, I think Ryan's the one that's got to calm down. It's very obvious when this happens, the quarterback is not giving a good normal cadence. I think he's a little hyper himself down inside the 20 and the 15 here. Again, I want to emphasize the Miami defense did a fantastic job, kept them off the scoreboard with a plus side of 50-yard field position to start.
Collins to throw, fires. He's got Jamie German. And he breaks the tackle with plenty of room. Here's where German excels. And finally tracked down, but gets across midfield to about the 48. J.C. Price takes him down, but not before a 37-yard pickup.
Now, again, this is what Ryan needs to get a good pass off. But again, what makes Miami? Here's a very normal 10, 12-yard play, and he's turning it all the way over to the plus 48. It's just what Miami does so well. Great athletes making big plays, which I'm sure that Coach Butch Davis is going to talk about later on in this show.
It's so important, Dick, for Collins to start completing some passes to take a little pressure off the running game.
He did right there. Plus, he got the field position he needed. They're out of trouble now. It's going to be a much more exciting offense you're going to see out of Miami.
Harris in motion. Ferguson gets the call, gets a few yards, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally brought down. Lauren Johnson, a freshman, on the stop. Ferguson will be the workhorse. He's their leading rusher. There's his numbers so far. He's also their leading receiver coming into this game.
I think you're going to, Mike, I think you're going to see a lot more relaxed team because they were down there in the hole. I think they didn't want to have any turnovers. I think you'll see Ryan Collins relax a little bit because now the pressure's off him from a field position standpoint.
2nd down and 3, and the whistles again. Officials extremely busy early on.
Good ball. Full start. Offense.
4th penalty. At least they're consistent. Good crowd on hand here at Lane Stadium. sellout. They did not sell out against Boston College in the first week, and that was on national television, but the Canes bring out the fans.
Hey, that's what's so wonderful about having Miami in the Big East. They have established, they're the queen of the fleet. Everybody else is now going to catch them, and I think that's what's great for competition's sake of the Big East Conference.
Jermaine Chambers comes into the game, split out to the right side on 2nd down and 8. Collins back to throw again out of the backfield. He's got Harris. And Harris knocked out of bounds close to a first down, a little bit short. Brandon Simonis on the tackle. Harris, the fullback, an excellent blocker, but he can catch it out of the backfield.
Well, I think that all athletes in that backfield, and what you're seeing right now is Ryan Collins looking like a drop-back quarterback. He's rolled, he's done it all, and so I'm encouraged by what we see here in terms of the Miami offense.
3rd and 2. They're down to the 40. Rain continues to fall.
Now let's see how they do it. Matching power against power. 3rd down and 2 yards.
That's Chris Jones in motion. Ferguson the call, first down. Brought down Lauren Johnson among those in on the stop.
Straight ahead power football play. Everybody just man on man. He still finds the hole, runs to daylight, and makes sure of the first down. He's not trying to break it, although he almost did because of so much pressure by the Virginia Tech defense.
They say that Ferguson has just scratched the surface. You can see his numbers left to get that milestone for 1,000. He's on his way with a couple of nice runs so far this afternoon. Quick drop for Collins. Incomplete. Green threw it behind. You tell Green could not hold on as the pass thrown behind him. But they're mixing it up nice.
I think they're a lot of good sequence there. You see, Green has got to make this play and not be worried about anything else. Just make the catch, make the quarterback look good, take your 5 yards and move on from there. They're trying to run with the football before they have it. That's a drop pass. We can't have those things. If we're going to be a good football team, Miami Hurricanes.
2nd down and 10. Collins chased out of the pocket by Brown and slips on the turf, falls down. J.C. Price was right there. Excellent pursuit from the Hokie defense. Cornell Brown, the man that flushed him out of the pocket.
Now again, Cornell Brown is the man that makes the things go, and now what you added pressure, the linebacker scrapes, and we get people coming around on a good stunt there. We got everything going for ourselves.
This is where Virginia Tech excels. Their defensive line so strong. Cornell Brown, they say he's the best pass rusher here since Bruce Smith.
And right now, we're in a long passing situation. We're going to be a drop back situation. It's going to be a draw or a screen. Let's see what happens here.
3rd and 22. Collins has some time, fires, incomplete, intended for the tight end Tucker. Good coverage.
Excellent coverage, excellent coverage. He really threw the football to the tight end that was not open. Here he comes. Now the linebacker for the inside is running right down the football field with him. Just wonderful coverage. He really wasn't open, and I think that Ryan actually threw the football away. Good field position. Let's punt and play good defense.
Myron Newsom with the coverage. Chrissy back out. His first punt was a dandy. Larry Green, number 7 back for Virginia Tech. Good rush. And Chrissy has to rush the punt. A poor one, and it goes out of bounds near the 30-yard line. So Chrissy struggles that time, but credit the Hokie rush on that one. 15-yard punt. And Virginia Tech will take control. Just under 5 minutes remaining, no score in the first.
There are a lot of reasons why we created Ford Windstar with over 40 standard safety features, including standard dual airbags and standard anti-lock brakes. Many reasons for giving Windstar secure handling and making it longer for a smoother ride. We could acquaint you with some of these reasons, but why wake them up? Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
People stopping by.
There's a new gasoline.
What's new about it?
With the power to drive down maintenance costs. Yeah, right.
Are you serious?
Yes, we are. New Exxon 93 Supreme keeps your engine cleaner.
Clean is good.
So it can help drive down maintenance costs.
Could gas do that?
New Exxon 93 Supreme can, with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Gas that can save you money.
For more reliable performance.
Okay, I'll try it.
Fill up today with new Exxon 93 Supreme at your locally owned neighborhood Exxon.
At Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia, Big East opener for Miami. Jim Druckenmiller, the quarterback, struggled last week against Cincinnati, but head coach Frank Beamer said it wasn't all his fault.
But no one could make a play. Our wide receivers weren't making a play. We couldn't get a long run in there. So Jim, felt like, hey, every throw's got to be perfect. And in the end, it just we weren't a very efficient offense. I think Jim will come back. He's a tough guy on the outside. He's big and strong. But I'm telling you, he's tough on the inside. He's had a good week of practice. I think Jim will play well today.
Frank Beamer said he was most impressed about Druckenmiller in all the time he's known him. No more than this week because of the way he handled last week's problems.
And you can already see that he's adjusted mentally. He's ready to play.
Thomas again with another big gain. Another first down as he's approaching midfield. Boy, Dwayne Thomas has been super so far. Finally brought down by Eugene Ridley.
Now again, they're running away from the overshifted defense, playing it very well. They're calling the cadence on the line of scrimmage. They're calling the play there. And when you get Dwayne Thomas a hole like that, he's going to get some yardage. They've got that field position back that they lost on the punt exchange. They're right back just at minus a couple of yards, right where they want to be, at midfield.
15-yard pickup. Thomas, 8 carries, 58 yards already. And he goes again. This time not as successful. Still manages a couple. Ray Lewis comes in along with Burgess on the stop.
It's a I think the thing that we've got to make sure here, Mike, as we continue to go, is that they're checking off, they're knowing the Miami defense. Jim is knowing exactly what he's doing as a quarterback. They're shifting, they're giving him all the mental and physical problems that they can possibly do.
Second down and 6. Druckenmiller looks, fires downfield. Bryant still got it. Oh, just shy of a touchdown. Great hookup. Bryant still hauls it in, a 47-yard pass play. He didn't play last week, shoulder problems, but he's their big play receiver.
And you're talking about against Carlos Jones. I don't know what happened to Carlos on that thing, but, Brian blew right by him. Great play action, holds it, nice delay, get it up in the air where a great athlete can run under it, and see Carlos is way behind him on the thing. Now it's a question whether he get in or not.
And penalty markers thrown on this 1st and goal.
Now we're going to be able to see whether he got in or he bounced in, which is what the official call, which I think was a good call.
Dead ball, illegal contact, offside, on the defense, half the distance to the goal line, first down.
So they'll move it a couple of inches. The still was right there, but it was a good call.
Yes, it was.
Now this time, Virginia Tech, they were 1st and goal inside the 10 on their first possession, but couldn't punch it in and had a field goal attempt blocked. This time they need to punch it in.
I think that you'll find that this is something they can handle. The power of the offensive line is going to take them in right here.
Thomas, touchdown, Virginia Tech.
The power and strength is not that problem. The speed of the Miami defense is counteracted right down there. You can't let them in there too often.
So the 47-yard hookup sets up the plunge from Dwayne Thomas, and the Hokies get the first score of the afternoon.
You talk about a crowd that's excited now. They can't believe what's happening after Cincinnati last week. It's a great credit the way they're coming back against the Miami Hurricanes, and the people down in Miami have got to realize that the Miami Hurricanes got a ball game today. And I'm thrilled to be here with it, Mike.
Larsen's extra point is good. Exactly what Frank Beamer wanted. Wanted to get the confidence going, and Virginia Tech certainly has that. The crowd is on its feet. A 7-0 lead for the Hokies.
So the Nittany Lions of the Fighting Irish have given us another great college football game. And here are two tired generals looking for each other at midfield.
Tough break, Joe.
Yeah, I know. The tie's too much.
It's nice, but maybe next time something in a crew neck.
How'd you think that'd be too casual?
Collect a Burger King Legends of College Football Cup. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents.
Look, Joe, it's not the end of the world. Next cup, think pastels.
Furnace not heating like it used to? Get the Train 2-stage 80 furnace with a low speed for mild conditions and a high speed for extreme cold. It heats your home evenly, efficiently, and quietly.
Call Woods Heating and Air Conditioning today about Train's free 10-year extended parts and labor warranty.
Beamer's Hokies had not scored a touchdown in the last 2 years against Miami, but they put 7 points on the board.
And nothing could come at a better time for this football team. Keep them excited. Here we are still in the first quarter. That dream has come true. They're ahead 7-0. They're playing at home. And now the pressure is returned to the Miami Hurricanes.
Last year, Virginia Tech had a minus 14 yards rushing against Miami. They've certainly been a little bit better than that here in the first quarter this afternoon. And there you see the scoring drive, the 47-yard pass play from Druckenmiller to Still. That was the key play.
I think one of the keys is because now that challenging Carlos Jones was Still. I mean, that's the thing that kind of surprised me. The thing, and I still don't know what happened to Carlos. He must have got frozen in his tracks because Still can't run by him like that.
He's the one returning starter back there. Some say one of the best corners in the nation.
He's a great player.
Larsen will kick off. Jones and Gator are back. Excellent kick. And Gator's not going to go anywhere. So Miami will take over at their own 20. Right now, let's go back to our Big East studio and John Sanders.
Thank you very much. In the dome, Pasqualoni decides to go for it in his own territory on 4th down, but Donovan McNabb is stopped on the option. Greg Sauer got him. That led to a field goal for Minnesota. Syracuse has answered with a field goal of their own. The game is tied 3-3. Let's go back to Lane Stadium, men.
Taking chances early in some games as Virginia Tech with the 7-0 lead. 1st and 10 for Ryan Collins and the Canes.
We had a cadence problem again.
This has happened all quarter. It'll be the 5th penalty against Miami. And we still have 3 minutes left in the opening period.
I think one of the problems is that Ryan is checking off from the line of scrimmage. And when you check off...
Please reset the clock to 3:09. 3:09.
When you change the play, the cadence changed, the snap count changed, and the offensive line is being confused with what's happening right here.
Please reset the clock to 3:09. 3:09.
He won't say please if he has to say it again, I think. 3:09 left here in the first. They're going to bundle up this afternoon. There's your penalties. That's number 6 on Miami.
And it's been a cadence problem throughout this thing. And now you're 1st and 15 down in the hole. This is where you don't want to be, and that's happened to him 3 different times now in this first quarter.
Carlos Joseph has come in now for Miami. He in the backfield. They had a week off last week. 2 weeks ago, beat Florida A&M as they continue to try to reset the clock. They are off next week and then play Florida State. But no question, you do not look past Virginia Tech in Blacksburg.
Yeah, they're not off today, that's for sure. They've got to get on and get on fast.
And importantly, it's the Big East Conference opener for the Canes.
That's exactly right.
Collins to throw on 1st down, looks downfield. You tell Green has got it at the 45-yard line. Pearson Prelo on the tackle, but Green hauls in a 30-yard pass.
Now again, when you have a pass that comes in the middle like that, you've got to have the middle safety coming over to help out the cornerback on this football play. And we just didn't have it on the thing because I think they got read up with something else, and it just can't happen. You can't do that against the great speed and the great cuts of the Miami Hurricanes.
Frelo, a freshman, that's a tough assignment. Green, one of the best receivers. Ferguson quickly hits Simonis. He greets him behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of the play. Ryan Collins, the leader of the Miami Hurricanes. Butch Davis is pleased with his progress so far.
Yeah, I think he's done an excellent job of accepting that responsibility. It's a new offense for him. He's doing exactly what we're asking him to do. He's protecting the football. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes for only 1 interception. He's got charisma and some leadership in the huddle, and he's doing a very, very fine job for us at this time.
And that time he connects with Jermaine Chambers, still short of the first down.
Now, if you've noticed that the I formation is being disguised, they're showing you the I, but they're moving into a pass formation, and it looks like they're going to throw the football to move it down the football field instead of stuffing it right down 7-0. It's interesting to see what game plan they're going to go to here.
Those Collins numbers so far. They're in Virginia Tech territory, and this crowd very loud. 3rd down and 3. Collins fumbles the snap again, but whistles in another flag. They are really having their problems.
Yes, they sure are.
Full start. Offense.
Now you have a 3rd and 8.
Yep.
Yeah, he's stepping back.
Very obvious what's happening here. We've got a cadence problem. The center is not in tune with the quarterback. The quarterback has picks the ball. He's backing out of there, and we're not getting the snap, and we're just having a lot of problem with the exchange because they had changed the play again, went to an unbalanced line to overshift.
Coach Davis certainly not happy with the play of, in terms of Ryan Collins at the center. Twice now he's fumbled the snap, that time just pulling back. He was 7th penalty. Now a 3rd and 8. Collins under pressure. Gets away, fakes, and falls out of bounds close to a first down. Newsome chased him out of bounds.
I don't think they've got the first down. They've got to punt the ball away. I don't think he tried to reach for it, but he was out of bounds when he reached.
So they're going to be short.
Now, he had the first down, but faked the pump, and he should have gone for it here, but by delaying right here, he's got the problem.
Boy, Newsome made a great play. He had to keep an eye on Ferguson and kind of caught in between.
I think, again, we're getting everything we want out of the Virginia Tech defense. Now we're into a punt formation. They heard it last time. Let's see what happens this time.
Chrissy had a beautiful punt his first time out, and then just a 15-yarder second. Larry Green back again. This one another short kick. And down at the 19-yard line. Virginia Tech will take over. Now let's get an update from our biggest studios. John Sanders, take it away.
Mike, thank you very much. We go to Death Valley, where Virginia's Mike Groh is the quarterback. He'll find Patrick Jeffers, a terrific catch just short of the goal line. Groh punches it over on the next play. They missed the PAT. Virginia leading Clemson 6-0. Like you have, there's a surprise brewing there.
A 30-yard punt that time.
Excellent field position for the Miami defense. We've got 80 yards to go. That's where they want to get the Virginia Tech offense.
Thomas, again, the call breaks another couple of tackles, and he's still going all the way up to the 41-yard line. What an effort from Dwayne Thomas.
Not only is he giving great yardage, but he's also inspiring everybody with the way he's running it. But they've run the same football play 3 times on first down, and the overshift is what's causing the problem. They're just overloaded over there. It's a great call, great execution by the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Earl Little finally brings him down, but not before a 21-yard pickup. And this is a Miami team that has given up much more rushing than they're used to. Look to see last year in the amount that they ran the football.
Mike, the statistic you gave about -14 last year, can you imagine how good they feel, what's happening to them, up 7, and the whole crowd do the thing? That's what you can't have if you're Miami. I'm telling you right now, this is time to get worried.
You know, we're giving a lot of credit to Thomas, rightfully so, but the key really is the offensive line for the Hokies.
I also think the game plan, you got to give credit to the offensive coaches because they're tacking it just exactly where they are. on the other side, I think you're going to find the huddle over there on the offense. You're going to see this cadence problem solved, and I think Miami Hurricanes will come out and be all right from now on. We'll get a lot of work done, and they understand what's happening.
Butch Davis concerned, certainly with the play of his defensive line. And teams in Virginia have not a lot of success against the Hurricanes. 0-20. And there you see Tech looking for their first win. They've enjoyed playing the colleges from Virginia. But certainly still a long way to go in this one.
The excitement, I think, here is being able to go to the weak side and run the football like they are on the open sideline. It's just a fascinating thing to watch. And you've got to give some credit to Dwayne Thomas because he's picking the right hole and he's running over people besides. And when he had the shot coming in like he did and still hanging on the football, can you imagine what this is doing for quarterback Jim Druckenmiller? Can you see how excited he is? He knows that he's leading a whole football team now. And this is the first time that I think that he's really knows that the team's in trouble, and he has a quarterback and pulling him out of it with the check off that he has the line of scrimmage.
He said last week,
well right now.
Nick, he said last week it was the worst he has ever played on any level, high school, Pop Warner, whatever you want to talk about. He just had a miserable.
And nobody argued with him about it either.
No, that's for sure. Ryan Edmonds on the counter play and gets maybe a couple of yards. Carlos Jones in on the stop. They've mixed it up.
You know, Ivan Maisel, one of the great college writers, made the statement that Virginia Tech, for backs, you know, you're just all over the place, and you can show that they can really run the football. Look how they're trying to run over and hanging on to the football. No turnovers will get you. Here's the first quarter, and is it what we want right here?
They have run the football well. Here are the first quarter, and Virginia Tech leads it 7-0.
I love you, little Jenny Catherine. I want to tell you something very, very important. Daddy got a raise. That means I can buy you a sandbox, sliding board. What do you think? Do you think we should put some of it away? What do you know about the stock market? I love you, little Jenny Catherine. Guess what? Daddy got a raise.
Johnny Bench for S&K's Double Play Sale.
Why shop the department stores when S&K has thousands of suits on sale? Right now, you can take home 2 S&K suits for less than you'd expect to pay for 1 department store suit. These are great-looking wool blend suits you can wear year-round, and you get 2 for under $200. So pick up your next double play at S&K, because if you go to a department store, you're going to strike out.
5 area locations in Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Fort Chiswell.
This is John Sanders back in the Big East studio, and before we get you back to the second quarter of the game, a surprising start at Lane Stadium. A reminder of what we will have coming up at halftime. We will have a complete Saturday scoreboard looking around the rest of the country with scores and highlights from all of the top games. We'll have the Big East report as we go from campus to campus with the latest football information. Also, Big East news and notes coming up at half, and a special feature. Jim Druckenmiller will be featured at halftime. That's what we have ahead. Now let's go back to football in Blacksburg.
Thank you, John. Chilly afternoon, but the fans certainly warmed up, at least the Hokie fans, the way this has started for Virginia Tech.
I don't think anybody's chilly anymore. I think this is exactly what they wanted. It's a dream come true. Virginia Tech is playing football against the Miami Hurricanes.
2nd and 5. Druckenmiller, play action, looks downfield again. Bryant still. Oh, he drops it. That would have been a clear touchdown. Right in his hands. That's a tough one for Druckenmiller.
Now, something happened again to Collins. I don't know what's happening here. That's what it is.
Eugene Ridgely slow getting over. Yeah. Know if it was his assignment. Still made a beautiful catch earlier. And there you see.
Well, it's a very obvious broken coverage by one of them.
His last TD catch against the Hurricanes. Druckenmiller pitches to Edmonds, and he fumbles the football. Miami jumps on top, but it looks like Virginia Tech may have recovered.
You don't know whether it's Earl Little on the last play. Again, remember now, this is a forward pass all the way. Good possession.
Ray Lewis gets the hand in there.
Yeah, he strips it right away from him. But he jumped right back on the football. Drop pass, which would have been a touchdown from Virginia Tech. You can't lose those opportunities when you're playing Miami.
John Thomas with a poor punt. Goes out of bounds near the 28-yard line. His first punt of the day. Struggles with that. Just a 24-yarder.
You know, it's got to be the weather, because neither team was worried about their punting. Everything was fine. All these years' experience.
So Thomas goes to the sideline. Virginia Tech, though, still on top in the second quarter.
We made history on the American road. Now we're looking to the future. Introducing the new Ford Explorer.
The top-selling compact sport utility that has standard dual airbags, as well as the roomiest interior, plus the one with the highest quality of any American compact sport utility. The new Ford Explorer.
Far and away, the best the world has to offer.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 12, the hand. A remarkable part of every Advance Auto Parts salesperson, the hand can grasp any automotive situation.
My car goes.
Instantly, the hand tests the electrical system, removes the dead battery, and with free installation, puts in a new Autograph battery. All you have to do is shake part number 12. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Virginia Tech leads 7-0. Their head coach Frank Beamer knew that this was going to be a tough assignment. Miami may be 1-1, but they are definitely still the Canes.
You can say whatever you want to about Miami, but they're good players that play when that ball is snapped. So first of all, you better have your toughness with you, and then second of all, defensively, I think it's don't give up the long play. You know, they're in a little bit different offense, a little more two-back. You know, you don't want that quarterback to get real confident, but I think the thing, if you can just make them take enough snaps in a new offense, you know, you got a chance. Just don't give them the long play.
After the 0-2 start, this would be the perfect way for them to get back in, say, the fans' good graces and get their confidence back to beat a team like Miami.
Yeah, and they've got the fans back with them, and they know that they haven't given up. They're playing great football ahead, 7-0.
Play action from Collins, looks downfield for Green. Green's got it. When taken down at about the 25, Prelude finally brings him down. But you tell Green with a big pass play from Ryan Collins. 45-yard pickup. And Green's a little shaken up.
Now again, we're talking about a true freshman playing against him. We're talking about when they're going to attack him, and they've done it right now.
Antonio Banks out with the injury. There you see Green's numbers. He has become perhaps their best receiver. German got a lot of the wattage, but Green very solid. Nowhere to go for Trent Jones. A loss on the play. It is tough to run against this team.
Well, I think, you know, again, the penetration, they actually pushed the line back, so the back had nowhere to run. He had to go lateral on the thing, and then they have him.
Tony Morrison on the stop. Loss of about 4.
The Virginia Tech defense feels something, knows something. They're playing with great enthusiasm and tremendous execution. We're talking about now a 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14. Let's see what Ryan does here.
Collins under pressure. Gets away from a couple and runs out of bounds. Jim Barron put some good pressure. J.C. Price finally hit him, and he maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
I think, again, Ryan Collins did what he had to do there. He had to get out of the pocket and made something out of really nothing. He made about 5 yards on a football play that he should have. Was a little close to the sideline there. I was concerned whether they were going to call that thing or not. He's the quarterback, and they should be leaving him alone here.
Excuse me, Dick. Newsom almost got a piece. Newsom has had a terrific afternoon.
He's playing, but you got to be careful of those, because they should be calling those. You can't be hitting guys out of bounds, especially quarterbacks. You're trying to run out of there.
3 wide receivers now in the game for Miami. Omar Roll splits out to the right, and the Hurricanes are going to call a timeout.
Big play. Big play should call a timeout.
3rd and 9 coming up. Certainly big play early on.
Well, you're in.
So we'll take a break. Still early here in the second quarter in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech trying for their first win of the year.
Identify yourself. Do you go for the gusto? Go out on a limb? Go full speed ahead? Go where no man has gone before? Or are you a cornflake eater? Guess not. You go for the adrenaline-pumping, milk-defying taste of Wheaties, made with wall-to-wall, indoor-outdoor, toasty, tasty, 100% whole wheat. A whole mouthful of flavor. It's the whole Megillah. So for taste that goes the distance, goes all out, go for the over-the-top taste of whole wheat Wheaties.
Okay, watch closely. This is the new DQ Treats-A Pizza, but it's not a hot eat. It's a cool treat, a treat you eat like pizza. The crust is made of fudge and chocolate crunch. Then there's lots of Dairy Queen soft serve and your choice of 4 different combinations of toppings. New frozen DQ Treats-A Pizza, the only pizza that tastes better cold.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
Mother Boyle and son Tim demonstrate their Columbia Parka's radial sleeves and zip-out liner. The Columbia interchange system adapts to any outdoor situation.
Season, they are 0-2. Miami here in their conference opener, trying to again be the beasts of the Big East. Coming up next week, this shows you why it's so important for Tech to win this afternoon, because if they go 0-3, having to go into Pittsburgh, where we will be next week, that is a tough assignment. Pittsburgh playing well.
Well, I think that it's Big East football, and that's what's exciting about it. That's exactly what we have right here. 3rd down and 9. The strength of Miami coming right now, that pass offense.
Quick drop, dumps it off. Daphnis, the tight end, and he's got the first down. Big pickup. Newsom brings him down, but not before they get the first down.
Now, Gerard makes the catch that has to be made. It's not a great pass, but he makes sure that he hauls it in and gets enough for the first down. He has to run behind him, hang on to the football. Gerard Dolphins make a big football, the biggest play for Miami in the game so far.
Collins, 6 of 9, 138 yards. He's been impressive throwing the ball.
Oh, sure.
Carry. Trent Jones gets inside the 10, and this is where Miami excels. 6 times this year they've had 1st and 10 inside the 20. 6 times they've scored touchdowns. That is red zone efficiency.
Now I think that what we have to do is see how they can do against Virginia. That's the first time we didn't get penetration across the line where the back was able to run where he wanted to run and be able to cut it back.
Newsom in on another tackle, but not before a good pickup. They have been perfect in the red zone thus far.
Sledgehammer football by the Miami Hurricanes here.
2nd down and 4. Trent Jones on a pick. Knocked out at about the 8. Has nowhere to go. Prelo in on the stop.
One of the things that you've seen, the adjustment, no more cadence, no more offsides, but they've stopped making cadence calls or trying to change the football play on the line of scrimmage. And they ran right into the strength of the Virginia Tech defense that time.
Collins looking over for some answers on what to run on a 3rd and 4. Derek Harrison, the 34, back in.
I think you see Collins having a part of this football play. The quarterback himself will have some way how they're going to get the first down.
Ferguson still on the sideline. Collins throws. Simonis looks like he intercepted it, and he did. Brandon Simonis on the interception. The Tech defense comes up big again.
Just there's a poorly thrown pass behind him, and that's twice now he's done that.
Ooh, that almost hit the ground. That's close.
Almost is bounce up.
Simonis has played well so far this season.
I think the official.
Ooh, I don't know. That's very close.
Yes. And we got people calling the play that were shielded from it. That's what happened. They had to make a call, and they did.
Well, Simonis did a great job of picking it right up if it did graze the grass. They go inside a couple of yards. Parker's still going. broke a couple of tackles, and the crowd loves it. Earl Little finally brings him down, but Marcus Parker with a great second effort.
What I was talking about before, the backs are making everybody excited by the way they run the football, and they're running against the Miami Hurricanes. They're getting all the breaks and taking advantage of. That's the first turnover of the game, and it was a big one as far as the Miami Hurricanes were concerned.
And again, you saw Miami so good in the red zone. First time this season they've failed to get a touchdown once they're in there. 9-yard pickup that time for Parker. Ken Oxendine is checked in for the first time.
They don't go downhill here either. Not at all. Kenny's excellent back.
And there you go. He's got the hole, the first down, and much more. Didn't play in the first 2 games with a broken bone in his hand. 10-yard pickup on his first carry of the season.
Well, everybody's excited to have him back, and what a great way for him to introduce the season. They need players like him to spell Dwayne, and Kenny Oxendine answered the call. 1st and 10, moving out of the trouble zone. Here they are out beyond the 20 now.
From Chester, Virginia, a sophomore who, in limited duty last year, very impressive. He gets the call again, another hole, and perhaps a 5-yard pickup. You know, Virginia Tech has some good talent at the skill positions. We said in the beginning, Dick McPherson, that they needed strong play from the offensive line, and they have certainly gotten that.
Even more than I think they hoped for. I mean, and the offensive line is just going to get better because of the way they're playing. You can see the confidence coming out of the whole Virginia Tech organization. Look at the bench. You see it down there also. Look at the check. They're checking everything off, taking the time. Again, Jim looks like a season in his 3rd ball game.
Poise is a word to use for the way he's handling himself. Oxendine with another big hole. Great fake from Druckenmiller. Freeman Mack in on the stop. And another first down.
Now, you can't emphasize what you were just talking about, Mike, the play of the offensive line. And they're doing the job in terms of taking people on, blocking down seams, kicking people out. It's just exactly what you want to do, run the football, and they're doing a fantastic job of it.
On the outside, Oxendine really nowhere to go that time. Good pursuit as Russell in on the tackle. Twan Russell.
This is a great mix-up, but, you know, nobody's making a living against the Miami Hurricanes tossing the ball to the outside, because that's exactly what they want. The success of the Virginia Tech game is right at them, right up the middle, and try to find the hole and break it off.
Pretty good numbers already. 7 yards a carry for Oxendine.
And then you talk about Dwayne Thomas being a great tailback. And remember what Ivan Mazel said about these people. It's just a great running backs all the way, fullbacks and tailbacks. Jim Druckenmiller looks like the quarterback that they need today.
Out of the shotgun, throws complete. Druckenmiller again. Brian Jennings, the tight end. And they've got another first down.
Now, watch the way the quarterback throws this football, and you see that's why they like it. Watch how he stands in there. Watch how this ball is delivered.
He certainly has the size and the passing skills. 6'4", 222 pounds.
And this is the kind of game he needs against a nationally recognized team.
Look at the numbers. The one was dropped. What would have been a sure touchdown. So he's been sharp. Again, Marcus Parker gets up to about the 45-yard line of Miami. Marvin Davis in on the stop. Parker getting some carries.
I think, again, they're faking the pitch to the outside, then giving it right up the middle, and everybody was running outside to get a hold of Kenny Oxendine. And, again, a great selection. We're getting the things that we want from these people.
Thomas was so strong early. Now Oxendine and Parker getting it. 2nd down and 4. Tech moving the football once again. Oxendine again. Another first down all the way down to the 30-yard line. Earl Little brings him down.
You know, Ricky Bustle, the offensive coordinator, is just having a great time here, just picking the Miami Hurricane defense apart. And what execution we're getting after last week. It's something that you can't even believe that Virginia Tech can do, and they're just doing it great. Defensive backs are having to make the tackles here, running right by the linebackers. It's an amazing thing that's happening here, and we're certainly glad to see it.
That is an unbelievable statistic when you're talking about playing Miami.
This will light up everybody at the halftime, I think, across the nation. What Virginia Tech is doing here this afternoon.
Oxendine this time, not a lot of room. Oxendine last year in limited duty averaged 7.8 yards per carry starting off. And he's a strong player. So is the likes of O'Brien. Still, they've got good skill position players for Virginia Tech. Miami coach Butch Davis is certainly aware of that, and he knows guys like this can be extremely dangerous if they're given the opportunity.
Well, I think they're very talented. You know, just looking at things that they've done in the past, I know that they've struggled a little bit by not having them in the game. And you can't take away your big-time playmakers, guys that legitimately have a chance to touch the ball and turn short games into long games and medium games into touchdowns rather effectively, making a negative impact. And I know that they got to be excited about getting those guys back. We're going to have to do a good job in the secondary.
Druckenmiller leveled by Twan Russell.
I'll tell you right now, Jim's wondering whether he hurt those Miami guys the way he lowered the boom on them. That's exciting. He is trying to show his own football team that he's tough. He'll do anything to win, and that's what they need down here in this tough zone. Now we're on the 27-yard line. It's third down. We've got to come up with a real big play.
Well, Sanders gets his own signs down here. John, very popular in Blacksburg.
Oh, boy.
Still have over 6 minutes remaining. 3rd and 6, big play. Druckenmiller, Oxendine can't hold on. Russell was right there. Would have been tough to make the first down anyway. But that's one you got to hold on to.
Well, it's again, 2 drop passes is all that's happened. Kenny Oxendine tried to run with the ball, hurried things too much. You don't need to do it here.
So a field goal. Atle Larsen coming on.
Now this is a big play for him because he's 0-3, and now he's got to get the football up. I think we have to watch the elevation immediately. And with the hash mark that they have on the right-hand side with these people, I'm afraid of the hook. It's tough.
It's a 44-yarder.
Yes, sir.
His career long is 48, but he's 0 for 3 this season.
He's got it.
This time,
he's got it.
He's got 3 points. He's called it, but
I could see for the technique. Reminds you of the Ryder Cup. He had that nice, easy swing.
10-0 Virginia Tech.
Now you have to worry about the slippery grass down there, but everything is in the play. If you needed a big play, that's when you need it. Now they got confidence back in him. The kicking game is established. They're playing defense. They're playing offense. We have a football game here, and all we're at 6:05 and a half, 10-0.
Larsen struggled so far this year.
Yeah, look at him.
1995 marks the 100th season of Big Ten Conference football action. Celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Big Ten by ordering this commemorative home video chronicling 100 years of football and men's basketball. For just $19.99, you can relive the rich tradition and proud legacy of gridiron legends from Grange to Griffin and basketball greats such as Lucas, Magic, and the Fab Five. To order, call 1-800-BIG-TEN-4 or send $19.99 plus $5 shipping and handling to the address shown.
If you've been injured in an accident, beware of lawyers who will settle your case quickly for less than you deserve. At Donald W. Huffman and Associates, we go head-to-head with insurance companies every day, and we have earned their respect for one reason. They know what we can do in court. If you're an accident victim, come see us, and you'll receive full payment for all your losses. That's our job, and we do it well.
They lead Miami 10-0. The defense has been extremely solid. That man, Atle Larsen, just kicked a 44-yard field goal.
This is when Butch Davis has got to go to work. He's down 10-0. His football team is a little bit in shock, and they have no confidence in this level right now. This 1995 football team has got to establish himself, and they better do something before the half. because it's a critical time right now. And Virginia Tech, the whole organization, the fans are pumped up, and here we go.
They're #1 in the Big East, Miami is, in kickoff returns. And Tony Gator lets that one go out of bounds. They're actually #1 in kickoff and...
The ball will be placed on a 35-yard line.
Now they get a chance for a return here.
Tony Gator did something that kind of... How do you know that thing was going to bounce out of bounds like that? It's 35-yard line.
Kick out of bounds. The ball will be placed on the 35-yard line.
So they'll bring it up to the 35. An excellent field position. There's your scoring drive. It started way back on the 4 after Simonis' interception.
Yep. I think 65 yards to go. Miami Hurricanes, no cadence in terms of adjustments, just straight football. They're not making any changes in plays on the line of scrimmage.
Ferguson back in the game, and it's got a big gain across midfield, still going. Finally brought down. Torian Gray in on the stop.
The holes that have been found in the Miami Hurricane defense has been now found in the Virginia Tech defense, and you get a great back like this, and you're going to make positive yardage.
Holland also in on the tackle, but not before 23-yard pickup.
Now you're talking, we went from a 65-yard to a 42-yard game. We're just moving the football here in terms of plenty of time, 10-0. Let's see where the poise is.
Ferguson again cuts inside and has nowhere to go. Quickly, the swarming defense.
See, it's a quick count offense, no checkoffs. They're just trying to pound the way right at him. Now they've got to go into the passing game. I think they're playing a little bit into Virginia Tech's hands here when they don't do something and the overshifted Virginia Tech front.
Waverly Jackson with a strong play defensively. No pickup, 2nd and 10. Druckenmiller certainly has to be pleased.
See if they check here again.
Ferguson to call in another hole. Gray tackles him, but not before another pickup that's close to a first down.
Again, we're talking about a pass rush with 2nd and 9. They open up the lanes and a good draw play, and everybody taking everybody on and just open up the hole. And I think we should have got a first down out of that football play, and we've got to run just a big football play now. 3rd down and 1. The back has got to think first down and nothing else when they're in this critical area.
See Chris Jones, number 84, one of the wide receivers. Backups comes in. Ferguson and Carlo Joseph are the setbacks. Ferguson, he might be short. Some big hits from Virginia Tech.
I was already talking about the first down, and there were, you're right, Mike, big hits. And I was shocked that he didn't get the first down out of that.
Frank Beamer likes that kind of defense.
The hits by the Virginia Tech people, it's just plain team defense, gang tackling, everybody in on the thing. You give credit to it. It's a Virginia Tech Hokie defense that makes the play.
So let's see what Butch Davis will do here on a 4th down. Well, they're going to bring out the chains, I think. Yeah. This is a big call. 3:55 remaining in the second, down 10-0.
I think it's kind of an easy call from the field position that he has. I think with that long distance, he's going to go for it if he has to.
Let me see. What's this? A little less than a yard. And Miami's going to talk about it. First year head coach Butch Davis, his team down 10-0. In their Big East opener. They've got themselves quite a fight here this afternoon in Blacksburg. Mike Breen, Dick McPherson on hand. And we'll see what his call is.
I think he's going for it now. They're just trying to figure the play, right?
Tech with the 10-0 lead. And the Canes with a big call coming up right now.
Did Miami take the timeout here?
Yep.
Took the timeout to talk it over, huh?
Their second timeout.
Yep.
Two head coaches, again, we said this at the top of the show, Dick, that they both said this is a critical game. It might only be their 3rd of the season, but big game for both teams.
Yes, it is. It become
I've been thinking about having my mother move in here.
Here?
Yeah.
With us?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, I was thinking maybe we could add on.
You can't afford that right now. You got the kids, the cars, their education. On top of that, we got to look at our retirement. We got to start looking at that very seriously. I just don't see what we can do.
Dad. Grandma could have my room. Okay?
All engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff.
Nominal shutdown on the S2 stage.
The countdown is on. Each week, down payments will be dropping $50 per week until the car is sold. Hurry in now. Don't let the car you won't get away.
For the new twist on a used car. Hey, it's Mr. Carman.
Boomer's Deli, good food and friends. It's the tummy-pleasing place to be. Boomers! Any kind of sandwich, any way you like. Salad, soup, baked cookies, or Boomer's Delight. Boomer's Delight! Boomer! Boomer's Deli, good food and friends. A great place for the family. Boomer's Deli!
Today's Big East Conference game is a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmissions of any or all of the game without the express prior written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited. Just under 4 minutes remaining. Second quarter in Blacksburg. Fourth down, and that's how much Miami has to go. And they are going for it. Ferguson and Harris to setback.
That kind of a game you got to go for.
They've tried twice this season. Collins will run and will easily have the first down and more. Thrown out of bounds. William Yarbrough on the tackle, but a nice call from that man, Butch Davis.
I think that it's a gutsy call, but if it works big, and Brian made the most out of it.
16-yard pickup for Collins. Collins a little shaken up on the play. Ryan Clement is going to come in. He took a pretty good hit, and it appears to be the shoulder.
Well, it was a very legitimate play, very legitimate call.
And Yarbrough throws him down right on that right shoulder.
Yep.
So Clement, the sophomore out of Denver, Colorado, he got a little time in the Florida A&M game. A little different story here in Blacksburg. First and 10 for the Canes. Again in the red zone. And Ferguson with a big gain. Brought down by Hank Coleman.
This is the first drive that they've looked well running the ball offensively. They've stopped the cadence mix-up. I think they've got everything solved. And big play for Ryan as he comes into the game, because he's able to execute and get something the first play in the game.
Working on Collins right now. Collins had played well, thrown the football well.
You look like you're right, Mike. It is the right shoulder that's hurting.
Second and 7. Clement's first throw, complete. German catches it, but he's completely engulfed. Larry Green, Lauren Johnson right there on the coverage. What an easy catch.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny call down here because they certainly weren't backing the people off any. You can see from that the Miami coaching staff has a lot of faith in Ryan Clement, letting him do that in the second play he's in the game.
3rd and 3. Last time they were in the red zone, Virginia Tech came up with an interception. Ferguson the call, and he's close to the first down.
He's got the first down easy.
Brandon Simonis on the stop, but it appears Miami has it. So first and goal at the 5 now. Collins still with that shoulder.
Again, great penetration by Virginia Tech, but Danyell picked his way very well, broke back to the weak side, and was able to get the first down. When you get that penetration, it's very, very tough to get a running offense going. Let's credit Miami on that.
Under 2 minutes to go, first half. First and goal at the 5 for the Canes. Ferguson again, cuts inside, and an easy touchdown. No one touched him, and Miami gets on the board.
Now, Miami ran right into the overshifted defense. They've solved a lot of problems on the bench. It's a credit to the Miami Hurricane staff for the drive they have here. Watch the shift and blocking everybody down. Here's a nice guard rolling around, kicking it out. And Danyell just walks it into the end zone. And great call, great block.
Dane Prewitt on for the extra point. And it's a 10-7 game. Important possession for Miami. Down 10-0. And again, with the injury to Collins, they don't miss a beat. Clement comes in and leads them into the end zone.
We talked about 6:05 to go, 65 yards to go. They had to do something before the half, and they certainly answered the call. It is a brand new ball game, and now we've got to get this crowd excited again. They're kind of quiet down. They don't bleed all the way. I think we have to watch what happens in this series. 150 to go.
See Ferguson.
Yeah. See what happens is they get everything overshifted. They're blowing everything to the side they want to go, and then he's cutting it right back. I can't emphasize enough that they showed great maturity in how they handle this thing, and then to put a second-string quarterback in there and let him lead in there bodes well for everything.
See Ferguson's numbers after the slow start starting to pick it up, and again puts it in the end zone. Prewitt will now kick off for Miami. We'll see how Virginia Tech reacts, because you know the confidence a little bit back now for the Hurricanes.
I think that this is great for them. And now what you're saying, Mike, is true. How do we answer the call? With 150 to go, what does Frank Beamer do here? I think a lot depends on where the kickoff returns to and how much of the field we got to go before we can score. I'm anxious to see what happens on this kickoff. Again, with Dwayne back there, anything can happen. But with the speed of Miami, they should do a great job covering the special teams, especially on the kickoff.
Dwayne Thomas, the deep back. He's has second thoughts.
Oh, my God.
And came very close with him down.
I thought he touched that line, but I guess he didn't.
So they'll take it over at the 20-yard line. They've got 3 timeouts remaining, and minute 50. That was very close again.
What's that left foot here? See it? It's right on the line, isn't it? Yeah.
The official right there.
Yeah. He's saying he's just a nice boy from Virginia Tech. I'll give him a chance. He really didn't want to run it out. Now, the thing we've got to talk about, we got a flag on the play.
3 men on one side of the kicker at the kick. On the offense, will kick over.
3 men on one side of the kicker. What does that mean?
Al Hines will have to get an explanation.
Yeah.
So off the formation, they'll kick it again. Prewitt will go back, and Thomas will get another chance.
Mike, we're talking about Frank has done a great job in terms of the clock management and timeout control. He's got 150 left, and he has 3 timeouts. So anything he wants to do will be determined where they are on the football field. And I don't know exactly what the official was talking about with 3 men on one side there, but he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, didn't he?
That was a scoring drive for Miami. Again, they changed quarterbacks in the middle of the drive. Ryan Clement hurting his shoulder. Clement came in, and we'll get an update during halftime on Collins' injury. Coming up at halftime, as you see Butch Davis trying to get an explanation like yourself did.
No, I don't think he's explaining. I think he's trying to coach up the official. What are they talking about? I just don't. If somebody been offside, we might be able to help.
So John Standers will have our Big East Studios update with highlights from some of the games. Mr. Sanders will have all the details.
You know, here we are with Miami, Virginia Tech, and who cares what's going on around the country? We've got the game here that we're all interested in. It's a tremendous place to be. This is Collegetown, USA. The view from up here is fantastic. We've got a great game going on down in the field.
Your blood started going as soon as we came on campus, which is a beautiful campus here in Blacksburg. Thomas can't handle it on the bounce. Picks it up with his 8. Cuts inside, spins, and gets close to the 20, about the 19. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over. 1:46 remaining. Again, all 3 of their timeouts left. And Druckenmiller, who has looked sharp here in the first half, will lead the offense on the field.
That was a bad kick, made look good when you try to pick it up on a thing, but I think you had a veteran guy in Dwayne, and Dwayne Thomas was able to pick it up and at least make it get back to the 19, 18-yard line.
They send out 3 wide receivers. Cornelius White out there along with Still split out to the near side. In the shotgun again is Druckenmiller. Quick throw to Still, and Still brought down in a hurry.
Well, I guess
good play from Holmes.
That answers something. Frank's not going to sit on it. Here he goes.
Kenny Holmes with a big play because Still had some room if Holmes didn't grab him.
Great play out of the shotgun. They fake the sweep and then throw the great screen out here, but the speed of Miami has allowed them to get right to the football play.
Ryan Collins, by the way, a sprained shoulder. He may return in the second half. Second down and 8. Dwayne Thomas has a hole and gets up to about the 28-yard line. Ray Lewis on the tackle. The clock continues to tick. Crowd wants him to throw the ball, again a little restless.
Well, I think they can throw the ball after they get the first down. Right now, let the clock run out and keep playing. They're doing an excellent job with what they have to do to move the football. I think they'll make the decision if they get a first down here.
There's your time remaining. We'll call it now 3rd and 3.
He's got 3 timeouts. That's what makes a difference. Franks knows exactly what he's doing.
They are taking their time, however. And Thomas breaks another tackle. Makes a move, getting up there midfield. Tremaine Mack tries to drag him down and does at the 33-yard line. Another big game for Dwayne Thomas.
Now that's what helps when you have 3 timeouts. He's in the driver's seat right now.
39-yard pickup, and Tech will call the first of their 3 timeouts.
See, they didn't have to hurry anything. They've got 2 more timeouts left, even though the clock is stopped because they moved the football. This is just a great run. That's Dwayne Thomas on his own. What we're talking about, what Butch Davis even himself talked about, big plays have to come from big people, and Dwayne Thomas is one of the big people from Virginia Tech.
Tremaine Mack's speed, the only thing that stopped the touchdown. And there's Thomas's numbers. Had that great year in '93, over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Was injured last year, so hampered a bit. And has started off strong this afternoon. He's got 116 yards on 13 carries so far today. Actually 126. There's the numbers. Nearly 10 yards a carry.
Now they still have to move it in a little further to guarantee the 3 points, and I think that's what you're going to try to find them do. Throw the football down to get it in field goal range, and then go for the touchdown from there. But I think they need at least another 15 yards to be assured of a chance for a legitimate field goal. It's too far right now. 19 seconds to go, 2 timeouts.
Thomas, the senior out of Fort Myers, has really played well, and again, Virginia Tech has had in the past problems running the football against Miami. Who doesn't? Although this year the Hurricanes have been giving up far too much on the ground, according to the coaching staff.
Can you imagine Dwayne Thomas, how he feels about what's happening here today? The Thomas family back there in Fort Myers watching this game, how they feel. This is a dream come true for all of them. He's playing against the Miami Hurricanes, and everybody knows who he is in Florida today.
He's had a big game in the first half. So 1st and 10. They're at the Miami 35-yard line.
And you're going to see a draw or pass to get some field goal position.
Druckenmiller on 1st down to throw. Kicked into Oxendine. He's going to try and run out of bounds and does at the 22. Clock stops at 11 seconds.
That's it. Now they go for the end zone. Now they go to the end zone 2 times and still get position for the field goal.
17-yard pickup.
They can throw the football any place because of the 2 timeouts. Oxendine is back in the ball game. And every time he comes in, he makes a statement as soon as he comes in. Dwayne Thomas makes the play, and they don't go down a hill at all when they move number 28 in.
Ball now at the 18, 1st down. 11 seconds remaining.
Throw it anywhere. All the timeouts is complete.
As tied, almost intercepted. Tremaine Mack was right there. Intended for Cornelius White. That's just a bad throw.
6 seconds left. 6 seconds left, and now we're going to kick the field goal.
Larsen has connected already from 44 yards out. He had a 25-yarder block.
Now, the thing we have to watch out, as far as Larsen is concerned, get the elevation so a guy jumping up in the air can't block it. I think the protection by that excellent offensive line of Virginia Tech is fine.
And this will be a 35-yarder.
Got the confidence from the last one. I think we're in good shape here.
No good. A little bit wide, so the Hokies come up empty. Strong drive. But Larsen now 1 for 3 this afternoon.
And he's 1 for 5 in the season, huh?
Was so strong in the 44-yarder.
Yep. He's very strong here. I just think he punched it away. And again, you know, you take a look at the strings right in his face. That's the worst way you want to kick from the hash mark.
Well, that may have just pushed it a little bit off to the left.
Yes, it does. Yep.
2 seconds remaining.
I think the thing you got to talk about is that the snap was a little poor, and you didn't spin the ball around where you're just hitting the ball and not the threads. And when you do that, you got all the things going. And now we're just going to run the clock out and get the football played in. Ryan Clement is still at quarterback. And the word on Collins, Mike, that you just gave?
Sprained shoulder may return.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays out in the second half. Virginia Tech very solid despite missing that field goal. Here's one guy who enjoys coming back. Former Virginia Tech star Bruce Smith of the Buffalo Bills. Enjoying the Hokies, the way they played here in the first half. Still looking for their first win of the season. Tech with a 10-7 lead over the Miami Hurricanes.
Ethel and the whole family are visiting, and you get to play tour guide. Uh-oh, your car's in the shop again, and you need wheels. Headed for a wacky weekend somewhere? Whatever your needs, Budget has the car you need. Budget, a smart place to start.
On the road or at home, Budget has you covered.
The smart money is on Budget.
Halftime in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Virginia Tech looking for that first win of the season. Lead the Miami Hurricanes 10-7. Hi again, everyone. Mike Breen along with Dick McPherson. So important for the Hokies to start off strong. They had that disappointing loss last week against Cincinnati. Their confidence, you can just see from the moment they had the football and were able to move it against the Canes defense, really soared.
I think if Frank Beamer has a chance to be ahead 10-7 at halftime against the Miami Hurricanes, I think if he says to himself, we dominated them, we were the better team in the first half, he'd take the 10-7 to go in and be ready to play the second half. I think we've got a wonderful football game here, and nobody knows just exactly what's going to happen, which is what's great about Big East football. When the Miami Hurricanes come in here against a 0-2 football team of the Big East Conference and can't come away with a real easy win. This is going to be a tough game.
One of the keys certainly for Virginia Tech to play the quarterback, Jim Druckenmiller. He struggled so much last week, he had to have a big game. And he's an interesting person who's got to be key for this team this season. And here's more on him. Career touchdown passes, and he's third in both completions and passing yardage. Now Maurice DeShazo is gone, and for the first time in years, the Hokies have a new starting quarterback. Jim Druckenmiller came to Blacksburg in the spring of '92, just after DeShazo completed his first year as a starter. After redshirting a season, Druckenmiller backed up DeShazo in '93 and '94. In 2 full seasons, he threw only 38 passes. Now, more than 3 years after he came to Virginia Tech, Druckenmiller is the team's starting quarterback.
To think about all the things Maurice has done for the school, and I think you have to put some of that in the past, because I think we're maybe different players, and just going into it thinking I'm going to play the best I can and do it the best way I know how.
The new Hokie quarterback has a much different style than the old one. DeShazo was a scrambler, using his athleticism to create big plays. Druckenmiller is a classic drop-back quarterback with the size and strength to stand in the pocket against a heavy rush.
I think I'm one of the true drop-back quarterbacks. I think I feel most comfortable back there in the pocket. If something happens and it collapses, and I'm not afraid to run it. I like to go get a few yards, and coaches say, go ahead and get it.
On September 7th, Druckenmiller made his starting debut under daunting circumstances, playing League Power Boston College on national television.
It felt good, felt nervous, felt a little anxiety, but it didn't hit me as much as I thought it was going to hit me. I think the day before the game was worse than actually running onto the field. I think it was finally my chance, and I was really happy about it.
At the end of the night, Druckenmiller was in the Tech record book. His 296 yards passing was the most for a first-time starting quarterback in school history. In college football, a team's success often hinges on the play of the quarterback. Virginia Tech is no exception. The pressure is on, but the team has confidence in its QB.
I think we have a capable quarterback in Jim Druckenmiller. You know, he's a great passer, and, you know, he's a pro-style passer, and I'm looking forward to Jim taking over and doing good things for us.
I think it's very important that the overall team has faith in me, especially the offense. It helps a lot. It puts a little more confidence in myself. And seeing them look to me with confidence, I feel really great.
Druckenmiller playing well in the first half, helping Virginia Tech to that 10-7 lead, but he certainly had his share of help, including running back Dwayne Thomas, over 100 yards rushing in just the first half alone. That takes a lot of pressure off the QB.
Well, I think it's a total offense. I mean, everybody's doing what they have to. We've had one drop pass by Still. Otherwise than that, Jim Druckenmiller has answered the call. He's the quarterback that can move this football team. On the other hand, we've only seen one good drive out of Miami, consistent drive, which was the last drive, and I think they're going to have to build on that. They can't automatic, which they normally like to do, and Mike, let's take a look at these halftime stats here and just exactly where you think we're coming from.
I mean, the numbers in rushing is the one that jumps out at you. 194 yards in the first half. Remember, last year against Miami, minus 14 yards rushing.
And I think from a confidence standpoint, the offensive line knows that they can move the ball against the Miami Hurricanes. It bodes well for this game. It bodes well for the second half and for the season. They're really establishing something after a 0-2 start. If you remember what Frank Beamer said early in the game, a win here, playing like we do, will really solve the wounds of a 0-2 start.
Meanwhile, for Miami, Ryan Collins, he threw the football well. He did have the one interception, but he threw the football well. He got hurt later on in the first half, had the shoulder injury. Again, it's a sprained shoulder. He may return, but they've got to be pleased with the way Collins played. One of the questions coming in for him was his ability to throw the long ball. He did that in the first half.
I think that one of the keys, Ryan Clement came in and put him in the end zone, which shows they're not just a one quarterback team. And I don't think there's any doubt about Ryan Collins. I think he can manage his football team, and they're going to keep getting better each and every week as the season progresses, and so I'm not worried about them. What we have to worry about is the second half here. Here's what we're going to be talking about, Mike.
Butch Davis knows he's in a dogfight here in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech leading 10-7. We'll be back with more halftime activities after this.
It started out as a harmless joyride on the beach. Then it got serious. Now available from ESPN Home Video, the NASCAR story. The most complete video history of NASCAR racing ever produced. Watch America's motorsport move from those early duels on the dirt to the high-tech, high-bank battles of today. You get all 4 videos for half the individual price. Just call 800-764-5441 or send $39.95 plus $5 handling to the address on the screen.
With cooler weather on the way, let Outdoor Power Equipment introduce you to the full line of Husqvarna chainsaws, clearing saws, trimmers, and blowers. Husky chainsaws feature a patented Smart Start system and an exclusive air injection system that runs cleaner and cooler than most other saws. That means less maintenance and more time to get the job done. Outdoor Power Equipment is one of the largest and oldest dealers in Southwest Virginia with over 250,000 parts in inventory. Outdoor Power Equipment, a division of W.B. Clements Incorporated.
People stopping by.
There's a new gasoline
What's new about it?
with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Yeah, right. Are you serious?
Yes, we are. New Exxon 93 Supreme keeps your engine cleaner,
Clean is good.
so it can help drive down maintenance costs.
Did gas do that?
New Exxon 93 Supreme can, with the power to drive down maintenance costs
Gas that can save you money.
for more reliable performance.
Okay, I'll try it.
Fill up today with new Exxon 93 Supreme at your locally owned neighborhood Exxon.
On at halftime, 10-7 over Miami. They shocked them early with an outstanding running game, but Miami trying to climb back in that contest, down by only 3 at halftime. We welcome you back to our Big East studio. We have a lot to look at as far as college football is concerned. Let's start with some highlights from around the country. Minnesota and Syracuse, our other Big East game. There's Jim Wacker, the Minnesota coach. Syracuse going for it in their own territory early in the ballgame on 4th down, but McNabb was stopped short. That set up a Minnesota field goal, 3-0. They tied it at 3-3, and then McNabb goes to Harrison, and Harrison makes the catch 29 yards out. That sets up a field goal. A 49-yard field goal. Mayer knocks it through, his first of the year. Now watch this guy. We've talked about him a lot. This is Marvin Harrison. Gets a block there. Was it legal? Well, we don't know. But it turns out to be the setup key and a 94-yard punt return for a touchdown. Syracuse had another chance right before halftime, but an interception in the end zone ended that. They are at halftime in our other Big East game. Syracuse leading Minnesota by a score of 13-10. That is a good one going there. Also, the Rock, and there are Clemson players coming out, but it's Mike Groh, the quarterback for Virginia, to Patrick Jeffers, a great catch down to the 1. They take it in for the touchdown, miss the extra point. A strong first half of running the football for Tiki Barber. This is a long run setting up a first down. It'll be Barber to finish the drive from the 11, cuts it back, but once again, the Cavaliers missed the point after. This made it 12-0. Let's update that. They are at halftime now at Clemson in Death Valley. Virginia trying to pull a real shocker and leading 12-0. Texas and Notre Dame. A quick start in that ball game for the Longhorns as Texas had the early lead, and of course the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame playing that football game without their head coach Lou Holtz. He is in the press box. This was Texas early. James Brown to Mike Adams, a 49-yard pass play. Sets up the touchdown pass to number 81, Pat Fitzgerald, and a 6-0 lead. But back come the Fighting Irish. Paulus, touchdown pass to Derek Mays, and Notre Dame moved on top of the Longhorns, even though they are right now 17-13. They still have 10 minutes, over 10 minutes to play in the second quarter, and we'll check some other scores. Top-ranked Florida State is playing at home. It'll be Nebraska. Could be more big numbers as they take on Pacific. Good game, Texas A&M Colorado, one of the premier games today. Southern Cal is at Arizona. And Penn State tonight on ESPN will be playing Rutgers in the Meadowlands. It's Ohio State and Pitt, a big test for the Panthers against the number 8 Buckeyes. It'll be North Texas taking on Oklahoma. Kent and West Virginia, 3:25 left in the half, and surprisingly, it is scoreless, a 0-0 ball game there. We have the Big East report to come. We will go from campus to campus with updates. Stay with us. More coming up from our Big East studio.
Well, look who's here. Herschel Walker and Tony Dorsett, two of the best college football running backs I ever saw. I'll bet you they're swapping some pretty good football stories.
Next time, I'm telling you, Tony, right profile.
Really, Hersch?
I've always favored my left, man.
Collect a Burger King Legends of College Football Cup. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents.
Touchdown! You think next time we should wear the helmets?
In my case, the helmet is definitely on.
In these mountains, you need a tough truck.
Dave Ashley, search and rescue volunteer.
Trails, I tend to make my own. It's one torture test after another. But the people I'm looking for depend on someone to find them. Well, I depend on something too. My Ford F-Series. How do you learn a job like this? Let's just say I drive something tougher than a golf cart on the weekends.
Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford Tough.
Has the popularity of NASCAR racing left you wondering what's all the excitement about?
It's the third of power!
If you're curious about racing, you need the NASCAR Handbook, a video guide to Winston Cup. This easy-to-understand home video explains everything you need to know to enjoy America's favorite sport. To order, just send $14.98 plus $4 handling to the address on the screen or call toll-free 1-800-764-5441. Visa and MasterCard accepted.
We are backed by a whole network of professionals. Optometrists, ophthalmologists, opticians, and even an insurance specialist. If you have a problem that we can't solve, we'll get you together with someone who can. I've never worked with a more dedicated group of professionals. I'm proud to be a part of this team.
Get a free second frame or take $50 off your first eyewear purchase when you buy a complete set of eyewear at Doctors Bloom, Newman, Blackstock, and Associates.
We continue at the half. We welcome you back. We will be getting ready for the second half of your game in just a moment. First of all, a couple of Big East teams going for upsets against top 10 teams today. That's one of the items in our Big East report. We go from campus to campus every week. We start today in Pittsburgh with Albie Oxenrider.
Thanks, John. Here in Pittsburgh, the Panthers are set to play the 8th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Pitt's coming off a loss last week to 15th-ranked Texas, but they feel good about the fact that they almost pulled the upset of a ranked team on the road. Can it carry over to this week is the big question for Pitt. Bad news for the Panthers. Billy West, their running back, will most likely miss another start because of that collarbone separation. The encouraging news is the play of his replacement, freshman Demetrius Harris. And one other thing worth noting, getting the chance to play the 8th-ranked team in the country is a big deal for Pitt. They're looking at this as a big game. Ohio State, on the other hand, well, this is just another game on a very tough schedule for them. Next week, the Buckeyes have to play Notre Dame, so Pitt feels maybe they scheduled Ohio State at exactly the right time. I'm Albie Oxenrider, and that's a story from Pittsburgh. Now let's go to Rutgers and Pat Scanlon.
Okay, Albie, thank you. The story here at Rutgers revolves their preparation for tonight's game against the 6th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. This is the last scheduled meeting between Rutgers and Penn State, and Doug Graber and his staff right now are 0-5 against Joe Paterno and company. It'll be interesting to see how they do in this measuring stick game tonight. Will they play like they belong, or will they fold underneath the national television lights of ESPN? That remains to be seen. This is also the 3rd straight non-conference game for Rutgers before they open up in the Big East against Syracuse next Saturday night. The question is, how many of the Knights will be healthy by then? Already, Doug Graber and his staff have a shopping list full of injuries, including wide receiver Chris Hutton, who's out for the year with a broken leg. Playing on the turf at Giant Stadium tonight won't help their injury situation. Right now, let's go to Boston College and join Walt Perkins. Walt?
Okay, Pat, thank you very much. Here at Boston College, Dan Henning's Eagles being hit hard these days, not only by the opposition, but by the injury bug. Offensively, center Tim O'Brien out a month with a broken bone in his left foot, and tight end Brent Gibbons could be out for the season with a herniated disc in his back. But perhaps the toughest blow comes on the defensive side. Starting middle linebacker Brian May suffered a season-ending knee injury in their loss to the Wolverines. That leaves the reins of the defense in the hands to a redshirt freshman, Bobby Edmonds. Eagles off this week before they take on the Spartans at Michigan State next week. That's the story from Boston. Now to West Virginia in Hoppy Kercheval.
Thanks, Walt. West Virginia has not played well so far this season. Take, for example, last week's loss at Maryland. 7 turnovers. They have to change that today against Kent. One problem, running back Robert Walker probably won't play today. 2nd week in a row he'll have missed. He has a bad ankle. Jimmy Gary gets the start, but also the true freshman Curtis Keaton, he'll see action today. There is good news on the defensive side. John Browning, the big defensive end, is back and ready to play. He had to sit out the first 3 games because of an NCAA violation for contact with an agent in the offseason. Special team play for West Virginia has not been good, and head coach Don Nealon promised improvements this week, especially for the punting game. So there are frustrated coaches, frustrated players. They really want to bust out today against Kent. Now back to John Sanders in the Big East studio.
Some Big East news and notes. Dedrick Gels is on the march to become the all-time pass receiver at the University of Pittsburgh. He needs 4 to pass the co-holders, Dwight Collins and Gordon Jones. Meanwhile, that game today, Ohio State-Pitt, features some famous names. Dorsett and Springs, they're cornerbacks for their respective Pitt and Ohio State teams. Their dads played together with Dallas, Tony, and Ron. And a record-setting crowd could be on hand tonight, as you will watch on ESPN as Penn State takes on Rutgers. They could go over 65,000 at the Meadowlands. An unusual move for Temple, preparing for their home opener next week against Bowling Green. They held a Friday night scrimmage. Now we also have to update a game that is in progress. We mentioned Texas and Notre Dame with the Irish coming back to take the lead. This is Texas returning the favor. James Brown to Pat Fitzgerald fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown. But they tried the point after. It was blocked and returned the other way for 2 points for Notre Dame. So with 6:41 still remaining in the second quarter, the score there is 19-13. We have the kickoff of your game to come. We'll take you back to game site right after this on the Big East Football Network.
You were 21?
Yeah.
We drank a toast to it.
Yeah.
We did do that. When you were 30, I can't read this. You could boast of it. Now you're 40. Look at there. See? So make the most of it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that clever?
We're Tech.
Virginia Tech.
We've got a big campus, beautiful surroundings. We've got lots of majors. We've got great professors, great facilities,
We've got high-tech, state-of-the-art research.
and lots of great things to do. We've got it all at Virginia Tech.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 12, the hand. A remarkable part of every Advance Auto Parts salesperson, the hand can grasp any automotive situation.
My car goes.
Instantly, the hand tests the electrical system, removes the dead battery, and with free installation, puts in a new Autocraft battery. All you have to do is shake part number 12. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Leading Miami 10-7. The Hokies jumped out to a 10-0 lead. And part of the reason to play, as we're going to give some highlights, Dwayne Thomas had a great first half.
Well, I think, again, right on the goal line, about a half a yard to go, he just leaps right in there, and the offensive line, again, moves the Miami Hurricanes out. It's what you needed. The first touchdown of the game, 7-0, Virginia Tech.
It was 10-0 until Miami finally came back. Danyell Ferguson on the TD run.
This is the series that Miami looked so good offensively, 65-yard drive, and culminated with this cutback play. Excellent offensive series, the only real one that they had. And by the way, Ryan Clement is the one that leaded them in.
Ryan Collins injured his shoulder on this particular play.
Yeah, but by the same token, it's a 4th down and 1 play. If you have to hurt it someplace, that's the way to do it.
And he started off very slowly, but played well after that. He may return with that sprained shoulder. But the story of the first half is certainly Dwayne Thomas, 127 yards rushing.
I think the story is the first half is just wanting to win this football game, and everybody in Virginia Tech is showing that, and they get the crowd behind them, so it's an exciting thing that's happening. The only problem is 2 missed field goals, what really hurt this.
And the Canes were in deep in territory, the red zone, but Brandon Simonis came up with a key interception that may have grazed the grass.
Yes, and what happens, the referee behind the football play has to make the call, and he might see that the ball never touched the grass that we can't see.
And Beamer, the last guy to intercept the Miami Hurricane pass for Virginia Tech here.
By the looks of Frank Beamer, that was a long time ago. But he's a happy guy right now, I'll tell you that.
That was back in 1967 when Beamer made that interception.
My age, that wasn't too long ago, Mike.
His teams have played well when they're leading at halftime. In the last 2 seasons, Virginia Tech 16-1 in games that they led at half. But this is a game that they should have had a bigger lead.
Well, that's the key, is the field goal kicking going to destroy them. But, you know, they've got the momentum, and the thing that they had by deferring the kickoff, they've got it right here.
And now let's take a look at our John Hancock out-of-town scores, brought to you by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Ready for the second half kickoff. Dane Prewitt. Underway here in the second half. Dwayne Thomas at his own 3. Juan Russell with a good hit, knocking him down at about the 17. Just a note for Miami, Ryan Collins has not returned to the field yet as Prewitt goes back to get his team. So Ryan Clement.
I think they know that Virginia Tech's going to take the ball. They're keeping him in there as long as they can. We'll know when it gets down to punting time. But look at the speed of the coverage that Miami had getting down there inside the 20 to stop them. Now we've got a drive here that's going to be going a long way. 83 yards.
Collins will not return is the word we receive. Druckenmiller's numbers in the first half. How about a couple of passes dropped on him as well. And Thomas hops over for a few yards on his first carry as Cliff Jackson in on the stop.
Interesting play from a power standpoint. They counted the thing and got the linebackers out of the play a little bit. A good 4 yard gain to start the second half here.
Check that Tony Coley He must be tired, Thomas. Boy, he had some long runs.
I think when you're playing from Fort Myers, Florida, you're playing the Miami Hurricanes, you don't have time to get tired today. He's loving it.
Druckenmiller to throw, looking downfield. Bryant still just a little bit ahead of him. Good coverage that time from Carlos Jones, who was with him every step of the way.
Boy, I like Jim Druckenmiller getting that football up in the air and letting a guy like Bryant still go after it. That's what you have to do. This is a big third down football play with the field position they have right now. They're going after him. Virginia Tech is not backing off on the Hurricanes at all. They want this win. They're not going to sit on anything.
Tell you what, Druckenmiller, for a first-year starter, for a guy that had one of his worst games ever last week, he's playing with a lot of poise and confidence.
I think that's the key, is what we talked about. Will he have confidence? Will he have time? He's had all of them.
3rd and 6. He's in the shotgun. Good rush. He gets hit as it releases it. Catch. Cornelius White, no.
What's this? Pitch and catch.
Now they say, yes, now it is a good catch. It appeared that Miami stopped, but he's just down on the catch, so a completion for Cornelius White on the reception.
I think he was so conscious of making the catch after the drops that he's had, he didn't do anything else. He could have got up and ran, but they've called the whistle must have blown there because everybody looked away.
So a first down. They move it up to the 31-yard line. Druckenmiller on his own. Gets leveled. Tremaine Mack with a strong hit, but about an 8-yard pickup that time from Druckenmiller.
You don't know what that does to a football team, though. You run that option, it puts a whole new perspective on what they've got to cover.
He's not known for this. He's not exactly your speedster.
Well, you don't have to be. All you're doing is the threat of it. You saw the opening hole there. It puts a lot of pressure on the Miami defense, and Ricky Bussell is really mixing up the plays here well. And he's got to feel good about what he's doing also to help Jimmy Druckenmiller be a good quarterback.
So a 2nd and 2 is Virginia Tech once again moving the football early in the 3rd. Thomas has got the first down. Ray Lewis on the stop, but they'll move the chains again. I don't know if I can ever remember a team running the football like this against Miami. And certainly recently, UCLA was able to do it in that opener, but Virginia Tech has been impressive all afternoon running the football.
They're flexing the tight end out a little bit here, which makes it a little bit different too, because it makes one of the linebackers walk out on him, takes one of the linebackers away from the run game inside, and they want to run inside anyway, so it's a very good move as your tight end moves out. And they balance it up a little bit more. Now it's 6 on 6, and it's an even man-on-man game.
And they're up to the 43-yard line. Thomas again. And quickly brought down. Twan Russell right there to greet him. Maybe a yard or two.
Dwayne Thomas doesn't delay at all. He knows he doesn't have much. Here I come, baby. I'm going to run over you for a couple of yards at least. And that's the thing that keeps the clock moving and keeps the ball moving.
It's good size. Almost 200 pounds at 5'11". And there again, you see Virginia Tech, nothing last year on the ground, and they have just exploded here this afternoon.
I think the formations help a little bit. The checkoffs, the shifts, all of it's an excellent offensive game plan by the Virginia Tech.
2nd and 7, Druckenmiller on a nice fake under pressure, and Kenny Holmes can't get him. Then Lewis comes up and throws him down. Big loss as Miami comes up with a big defensive play.
Now, the guy that made a big defensive play on that thing was Carlos Jones. They faked the sweep draw, and now Sutter stepped on, and I think that Carlos Jones made up for whatever he did before. He covered him real well. Jim couldn't throw it, had to take the sack, but he took it very smartly.
You see the pause right there, and that just gave Holmes enough time. So many times the defensive linemen, they'll be the first ones to tell you, give credit that sack to the secondary for great coverage.
That's exactly, there it is right there, Mike. Now, the key here is you don't have any turnovers, Virginia Tech, and as long as you don't, we're in good shape.
3rd and 18, quick pitch out to Edmonds, and he gets up near the original line of scrimmage. Ray Lewis in on another stop along with Marvin Davis. And it's punting time for Tech. John Thomas only one punt in that first half, and it was not a good one. A 24-yarder as Druckenmiller goes to the sidelines.
Frank Green was playing that old-fashioned game, field position. Let's get a good punt, keep Miami with a long way to go with a second-string quarterback, and we're in good shape in this football game. That's a much better punt.
Tony Gator steps back at his own 15. Gator goes the other way. He's returned one for a touchdown already this season. Flag on the play. Gator still on his feet. Michael Williams makes the tackle, but again, a penalty marker.
You know, they're going to call a clip here. They're going to call a clip on Miami, and they're going to be mad at somebody that makes a clip. But when a back runs back and forth all over the place and people turn, you can't help but clip. And that's probably exactly what's happened in this football play.
43-yard punt that time from Thomas. Gator ran about 50 yards.
Return, illegal block in the back against the receiving team. A 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's about a 50-yard return, most of it, though, back and forth. And they'll bring it back even further because of another penalty against Miami.
Well, again, you can't really blame the young man that made the clip because everybody's turning on him all over the place. When you run the back a punt, get what you can and get out of there because we lost a lot of the yardage on that football play.
Both these coaches pay a lot of attention to the special teams. Virginia Tech, they block so many punts, both on field goals and
special teams win the close games. This is a close game. We've had 2 missed kicks here. And so I think it shows that it's now 16. It would be 16-7 with just normal execution.
And Miami's already blocked the field goal. We'll be back with more. 10-7. Tech still in front.
Identify yourself. Do you grab the bull by the horns, spit in the face of danger, throw caution to the wind, or are you a cornflake eater? No way. You plow into the flavor-flexing, up-and-atom taste of Wheaties, made with wall-to-wall, indoor-outdoor, toasty, tasty, 100% whole wheat. A whole mouthful of flavor. It's the whole enchilada. So for taste that tears it up, lets loose, where's the pants? Try the over-the-top taste of whole wheat Wheaties.
Johnny Bench for S&K's Double Play Sale.
Why shop the department stores when S&K has thousands of suits on sale? Right now you can take home 2 S&K suits for less than you'd expect to pay for 1 department store suit. These are great looking wool blend suits you can wear year round, and you get 2 for under $200. So pick up your next double play at S&K, because if you go to a department store, you're gonna strike out.
5 area locations in Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Fort Chiswell.
Coach Butch Davis has had to change his quarterbacks, not because of ineffective play, but because of injury. Ryan Collins sprained shoulder, happened in the first half, and he will not return. So Ryan Clement, who actually led them to their only touchdown today, although it was at the tail end of Collins' drive. Ferguson breaks some more tackles. He's still on his feet. Simonis knocks him around and finally taken down, but not before about a 7 or 8 yard pickup.
Now that's the mark of a great back. Ferguson makes yardage all on his own. Big series for Miami right now.
He's broken a lot of tackles.
Excellent defense here. He's bouncing all over the place. Missed tackle, makes somebody else miss, and he doesn't stop driving. That's what makes the great back that Butch Davis was talking about that he is.
So he's getting some terrific blocks from Derek Harris, the fullback. There's his numbers this afternoon for Ferguson on the 2nd and 2. And yellow flags fly through the air again. Miami's been penalized quite a bit all afternoon, right from the get-go.
Yeah, you're talking about cadence problem.
Start. Offense.
They call it false start, but they're trying to check off again, and they have their success, and the tight end jumped off that time. It's been guards, tackles, and tight ends.
Saeed Tucker.
Even the center was involved.
10 penalties for Miami. Again, Collins had his problems when he started, settled down. Now Clement in the game. A little bit of difficulty.
Well, they never really settled it down. They just stopped calling the things. Now they're going to the passing game, and I think they went right back to the quick count again.
Clement will throw. Incomplete. Intended for Green. They're going to call interference. Larry Green on the coverage. Atle Green was right there and may have gotten pushed in the back.
Well, I think we'll have to see if he came over the top for the ball or what.
Interference on the defense, a spot foul, automatic first down.
How would you check it right here? Well, he certainly is over the top of him, and there was contact, so it's just as legitimate as it can be. The thing that I am seeing here is Ryan Clement throwing the ball to spots that somebody isn't really wide open. That's happened twice now to a young guy. He certainly has got a lot of confidence where he's throwing it, I think.
He's had some zip on the ball.
Yes, he has.
He's getting fortunate a little bit with a first down. Clement again, pump fake. Atle Green downfield. Did he get it?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yep. He's got the 1 foot in.
Yes, he did.
Lawrence Johnson furious. He felt he was out of bounds, but a first down all the way down at the 33-yard line of Virginia Tech, a 38-yard pickup.
Here's Here's a shot from the end zone. We're going to be able to take a look at it right on the sideline. Everybody judge for themselves. Everybody can judge. Now, 1 foot in bound in college football. There it is. Good call. Good call. You know it's a good call because the officials calling on the Virginia Tech bench. They don't call them over there unless they're sure.
Again, the key there is the 1 foot. In the NFL, you've got to have both feet in. So in the college ranks, just the one, and Clement pleased with that.
Ryan Clement, he's as happy as can be.
Ferguson breaks more tackles. Finally, Torian Gray knocks him down on the secondary, but not before about a 9-yard pickup.
You're seeing a young man at quarterback that is excited, that's gaining the confidence as he goes. The throw that he just made was just up in the air, and the receiver's the one that made the play. But the quarterback has got a lot of confidence out of it.
Clement's just a sophomore.
Now, this is the second offensive series in a row that they've done a good job. So we've got to make sure that the Virginia Tech tightens up right here.
Ferguson thrown down. Cornell Brown in the backfield throws him for a loss. One of the best defensive linemen in college football.
Yeah. We're talking about Jay Ina. What's happened? Jay has just let the guy come right in there. And now he's going to try to find it, blame it on somebody else. But what we're talking about is great speed, takeoff, wonderful play by Cornell Brown.
Brown inspired a bit by Bruce Smith's appearance. Brown certainly looked up to him. Brown, one of the great sack leaders in Virginia Tech history. Smith, the all-time
Everybody
guy.
looks up to Bruce Smith.
2nd and 15. They fumble the snap. Flags on the play. And the official's going to have to work this one out.
I think we had some defensive surge there that caused the exchange problem.
Let's go back to our Big East studio. An update with John Sanders.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. We take you now to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. That's Johnny Woodson trying to get his team fired up at the start of the second half, but a mistake by quarterback Gary Sauter. A costly interception is picked up by Darrell Parker. A 27-yard return back to the 17-yard line, rather 14-yard line. Malcolm Thomas will take it in for the touchdown run. They got the touchdown they didn't get before halftime. 20-10, Syracuse leading. Let's go back to Mike and Gus in Blacksburg.
Thank you, John. Miami will hold on to the football here in the third quarter, and they're trailing 10-7. Frank Beamer's team being run upon, and he's not happy with that call.
Well, I think that you'll find that the defensive lineman, if we can get this showed up again, the defensive lineman charge caused the exchange problem, and Frank naturally is mad about it because he felt that they jerked him offside.
Carlo Joseph back in the game. 2nd and 9. Clement, quick throw, batted down. Cornell Brown. He's come up big here in the last couple of plays.
Well, I think he's an all-East performer, and he's big time all the way, and big people make big plays, as Coach Davis said.
Good rush from Yarbrough, put some pressure on.
Well, they had an inside blitz, and he had to get rid of the football, but the guy was wide open. He just couldn't get it to him.
3rd and 9, crowd on its feet here at Lane Stadium. Clement, Newsome with the sack. Byron Newsome's come up with some big plays, and a 4th down coming up for Miami.
Now, I think what everybody here should understand is that Virginia Tech has not backed off at all. They're blitzing, they're coming after, they're not afraid of anything. Watch the backside pressure here. Now Ferguson has got to pick it up.
He just missed
got to pick up that outside guy. He's worried about the inside blitz. He put the wrong check on. They're coming with corners, they're coming with linebackers. They're into it.
So Prewitt with a 45-yarder. His career best is from 49 yards out. It's all of this one, but it just sails wide. No good. Virginia Tech comes up with some big defensive plays, and Miami comes up empty.
Now, we're talking about coaches daring to take decisions and helping the players become a good football team. They're not backing off at all against the Hurricanes.
Frank Beamer pumped up. Tech still with the lead here in the third. That was Clement.
Heather Boyle and son Tim demonstrate their Columbia Parka's radial sleeves and zip-out liner. The Columbia interchange system adapts to any outdoor situation.
Farm, Allstate, Nationwide, all first-rate insurance companies. If they insure you, they will protect you when a claim is filed. But if you have a serious injury claim against any insurance company, they are your adversary. If you have a claim against them, State Farm is not a good neighbor, you are not in good hands with Allstate, and Nationwide is not on your side. If you suffer a serious injury, call Jeff Krasno and Associates first.
Prewitt missed a 45-yarder. Looks perfect on the snap and the hold.
Everything is fine. The rhythm is there. It's just a distance thing. The ball is heading right for the thing, but
look at the wind take that.
Well, I think it's the old left-handed hook off the kicker. Yeah, that's a soccer style. That's a soccer style kicker. He came across his body with it.
That's sunlight that it does that.
That's what you're afraid of all the time.
I don't know if I've ever seen it that dramatic.
Well, get the wind. See some of my slices, you'd understand it very well.
So Tech takes over. First and 10 of their own 28. Dwayne Thomas again. Here he comes. Close to another first down. Dennis Scott on the stop. Let's go back to John Sanders in our Big East studios for another update.
We take you to Kentucky, and it's Kentucky on the option. Haskins with the pitch to Mo Williams. Somehow he slices his way into the end zone, his third touchdown of the game, and that gives the lead to Kentucky, 21-14 at the half. That's it from here. Let's go back to Blacksburg. Mike and Dick.
Well, Hokie down on the field. Looks like Mike Byanchin.
Yeah, but the thing that we have to emphasize here, that Dwayne Thomas is showing the way again. He's through there, and he blasts the Miami Hurricane. What they're telling Miami Hurricane, if you're going to beat us, you better button on your bonnets, because we're playing. Frank was talking about how tough Miami is. He's showing the Virginia Tech guys they're tough also. I think that, it's an amazing game, but speed is out of it. We're talking about blocking and tackling is happening here today.
Byanchin, a senior out of Pittsburgh. Can't see exactly where they're working on as Frank Beamer looks on, concerned. By the way, Thomas's numbers, 17 carries, 147 yards. Byanchin has some words as he walks off.
They're always glad to see a young man walk off like this. He's got to be out for at least a play so they don't have to take a timeout.
They'll be back, and they, of course, see just happened this week, the Liberty Bowl agreement with the Big East.
Great news for the Big East. Great news for football players. Another bowl that the Big East players can go to. Everybody in the league is excited.
They're in the alliance. The Gator Bowl gets the second team. CarQuest the third team. Yep. And now the Liberty Bowl.
Memphis, Tennessee in December. What a great place to be. Ranger going to a bowl game.
Thomas gets a few yards. Congratulations to Commissioner Mike Tranghese as they secured another bowl bid. Tony Coley in on the stop that time, but not before they get the first down.
Again, you get an experienced back knowing what he has to get for the first down, and he got it. Danyell Ferguson didn't get that thing done on the third down and one in the first half. Shows what we have. Be aware of what you need to keep the chains moving down the football field. 60 yards to go for a touchdown. That's what they have in mind right
now. Druckenmiller to Edmonds. And Edmonds doesn't have a lot of room this time, maybe a couple of yards. But they blew the whistle. So
Whistle's blown, no problem. Again, they're stretching the Miami defense out, trying to come underneath it. It's a good play as long as you get positive yardage out of it, because it bodes well for the future, because they're not able to get outside on them, but they're stretching them out with the fake.
2nd and 7 coming up. Tech jumped out to a 10-0 lead. They've also missed a couple of field goals. One was blocked. Druckenmiller again in the shotgun. Hasn't thrown it all that much, but has been effective when he has. Fires. Incomplete. Intended for Jennings at tight end. Good coverage. Dennis Scott, Ray Lewis in the vicinity. Tony Coley is down. Yep.
Again, we're talking about the tight end going down on the plain hook. He's got his feet under him. The ball is thrown a little bit more to his left. I think that Jennings should be a little bit more under control as he comes under the thing. He should be able to make those catches. The quarterback's got to throw it one way or the other where the coverage is. Jennings, with the slippy turfs, I think what happened on that thing. It's kind of slippery in the muddy out there today.
So they work on Coley, perhaps an ankle.
Yeah.
Want to remind you again, you see Virginia Tech next week. This is why today's game is such an important game for the Hokies. Because if they ever lose this afternoon, to go 0-3 into Pittsburgh is not an easy situation.
I want to tell all the mothers at home now, Tony Coley is not worried about the injury. He's worried about whether he's going to be all right to play from now on. That's what scares him. He's not upset. There's no big pain there.
And there's Ryan Collins again with the shoulder sprain. Obviously will not return. Here's Coley has being told perhaps a cramp.
I think Ryan Collins, one of the things, a big fourth down play that he kept that drive alive on. That he got the injury, so it was an out-of-bounds play, but very legitimate all the way.
We're going to talk to Clement.
I think that everybody talks. Butch Davis yesterday, Coach Davis was talking about what a great young man he is and how he's really leading the team, and everybody wants it. But I'm impressed with the way Ryan Clement is coming in and getting the job done. And let's go back to the offense. Again, Jim, Druckenmiller, third down and long, middle of the football field. Good field position. Now let's see what happens on this football field. 2 wides in the game.
3rd and 7. And he goes back in a shotgun. Plenty of time to throw the football downhill for Sterling. Incomplete, overthrew it. Carlos Jones with some excellent coverage.
I think we're talking about 3rd down and 7, and that going downtown with the football player against the best defensive back. Now look how great Carlos Jones is. Be able to make the adjustment there. He actually outraced Still for the football.
He got beat the first time, but he stayed with him every time since then.
Well, he's settling down. I think that's why that's going deep on. He's settling down about 12 yards. He's guessing a little bit. And with his skill, he can.
John Thomas gets it off. Tony Gator's going to let it bounce. And Tech will touch it. Miami will take over at their own 20-yard line. 37-yard punt for John Thomas. Just under 5.5 to play, 3rd quarter in Blacksboro.
Some people call this the 20-yard line. I call it the 80-yard line. 80 yard lines to score. It's a long way to go, Miami.
10-7 lead for Tech here in Blacksburg.
Aunt Ethel and the whole family are visiting, and you get to play tour guide. Uh-oh, your car's in the shop again, and you need wheels. Headed for a wacky weekend somewhere? Whatever your needs, Budget has the car you need. Budget, a smart place to start.
On the road or at home, Budget has you covered.
The smart money is on Budget.
With cooler weather on the way, let Outdoor Power Equipment introduce you to the full line of Husqvarna chainsaws, clearing saws, trimmers, and blowers. Husky chainsaws feature a patented Smart Start system and an exclusive air injection system that runs cleaner and cooler than most other saws. That means less maintenance and more time to get the job done. Outdoor Power Equipment is one of the largest and oldest dealers in Southwest Virginia with over 250,000 parts in inventory. Outdoor Power Equipment, a division of W.B. Clements Incorporated.
0-2 Virginia Tech with a critical game. Their 3rd straight home game, a sellout here at Lane Stadium, and the fans have enjoyed it. They've led throughout.
What they paid for is what they're getting. They're competitive against the Miami Hurricanes in 1995. 80 yards to go, Miami.
Clement will throw on 1st down. Looks downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Magic Benton. The freshman Lauren Johnson with some good coverage.
I don't know what Magic was doing on that play. It looked like he didn't expect to get it thrown to him or something. It didn't seem to explode until the ball was thrown.
Benton
I'll tell you
his
one
first
thing,
game.
Ryan Clement will throw it. He gets back there and wings it.
Yet if you're just joining us, Ryan Collins in the first half, sprained shoulder. He's done for the day. 2nd and 10. Danyell Ferguson quickly wrapped up. Newsom again in the backfield. He has had quite an afternoon.
I just can't emphasize the speed and the way they're going after people. They're just pushing those offensive tackles all over because they're just trying to block them out there and they're just not shielding the thing off.
Newsom, the junior out of Hampton, Virginia, has made a lot of big plays. And a 3rd and 14 coming up for Miami. Once again, they're on their feet. Clement under pressure. J.C. Price with the sack. And a flag is thrown on the play.
Oh, I was wondering what it possibly could be the official was throwing there after the sack. He's calling a holding play, which will be refused, and Miami will be punting. There's no way that they have to discuss this thing at all.
Well, this Virginia Tech defense is impressive.
Show you the discipline of the Virginia Tech. They still look to the coach.
Holding, offense, decline, 4th down.
Yeah. Now again, we're talking about an inside pass rush because of the outside linebacker, the threat. The tackle and the guard have got a tough combination to go, and they're really confusing the offensive line of Miami right now as to who will pick up, and we've got an awful lot of work to get done here. The offensive line will be working on this right now, talking over the sideline. Great field position will come out of this again for Virginia Tech.
And Miami has to take a timeout. Tell you what, the Hurricanes got back the momentum at the end of the 2nd quarter, but they've lost it here to start the 2nd half. There's Larry Green back to receive. He's still in Miami territory.
Again, they don't have to take a timeout. What they should have done, in my opinion, is let the clock run down and save that timeout when they need it later, because that's going to be critical later for them with a 10-7 ball game. Just move it back 5 yards and punt it.
Let's check in our Big East studios. Another update with John Sanders. John.
All right, there's life in Death Valley after all, especially on 3rd down for Virginia at their own 29. Mike Groh looks deep. Patrick Jeffers at the other end. Great catch. Nobody will catch him. He dances into the end zone, 71 yards. Longest touchdown of Groh's career. The surprise continues, 19-3 Cavaliers. Let's go back to Blacksburg.
Virginia football having a good day. Tech right now with the lead and looking at some excellent field position potentially as Chrissy's going to punt from deep in his own end zone. Big rush, just gets it off. Fields it at his own 44, and Green finally knocked out of bounds at about the 34-yard line.
34-yard line.
Tucker in on the stop.
Again, tremendous field position. They're playing that game and playing it well. 4 yards for a score by the Virginia Tech Hokies.
36-yard punt, 10-yard return, and they've got it. They're going to mark it now with a 35 as Druckenmiller comes out once again. 4:18 to play in the 3rd.
It's a big test for the Hurricane defense right now. Excellent field possession for Virginia Tech. I formation. They're going to power away at him, eat up the clock.
Reverse. Here's the reverse. Ryan still's got it. He's broken one tackle, but really doesn't have anywhere to go. And
excellent defense. On the play. Excellent defense on that football play. They defensed it well, forced the man to the sideline and ran him out of bounds.
Well, Lewis a little shaken up. That is the last guy Miami wants to see shaken up. Their defensive leader. Tell you right there, Lang does a good job forcing him outside.
And strings it out so everybody can get back to the football play. An amazing thing how that Lewis can get all the way over there from an inside fake to begin with. Excellent football player. It looks like he'll be right back in. He'll just go to the sideline for no charge timeout.
Set a record last year. Their leading tackler this year. Again, a Butkus Award candidate. One of the premier linebackers in the nation. So 2nd and 11 coming up.
Frank Beamer can't get over how he is attacking this football team. Not giving him anything to
Druckenmiller himself, and he gets up to about the 29-yard line. Twan Russell on the stop. Druckenmiller very good at the play fakes.
I also think that you get the fullback that's a good back, and there's another option play which really puts pressure on him.
Does an excellent job in disguising what he wants to do.
I think that he's got great poise. It can't be any better, but Again, third down play here. They're going to power it at him on the play action.
3rd and 3. Oxendine is the tailback. He gets the flip. Lewis on the pursuit, slows him down. Dennis Scott on the tackle as well, and everybody on the Miami defense brings him down. Excellent pursuit.
Now we're going to see if we are going to try a field goal. We'll go for it on 4th down. Big decision by the coaches right here.
Well, they lose a few on the play, so a 4th and 6th would be about a 48-yarder.
Oh, boy. Timeout taken.
That's what you call defensive pursuit.
I think that, again, there's nobody better than Ray Lewis, and he's back in the football game, and everything is there from that standpoint. It's crunch time, decision time for Frank Beamer right here. I think the play that you have right here is a drop back pass. Let the kid try to hit the man in the open field on a hook and take it from there. One of the things we option play, they lost some yardage on the thing, which took them a little bit out of field goal range. I think you'll see that Frank will go for it here, especially with a 1-for-3 field goal kicker.
The one he made, however, was from 44 yards out. And again, he has kicked a 48-yarder in his career. That's what this one would be. But he has struggled overall today.
I think you've got decent field position. I think what you have to do is Jim Druckenmiller, if you believe in him, give him a shot here right now, and I think that's what's going to happen.
That 25-yarder, to be fair, was blocked.
No, he's going to kick it.
Yep.
I saw Jim shaking his head. It didn't look like he was too happy with it.
So Beamer showing some faith in Larsen, the senior out of Norway.
He'll be a Scandinavian after this one if he misses it.
48-yard attempt.
Again, he's away from the hook, and let's see, the flag is dead. So this is a big kick.
Snap is good. And this one not even close. So Tech comes away empty. 3rd missed field goal of the afternoon for the Hokies. Let's take a peek at exactly what the snap looked like.
Let's see what the snap of the hold looks like. Here it comes. Perfect. Put the ball down. And he's kicking into the threads, but it's a long kick for the young man.
Well, he moved it just in time.
Yep.
That's just not a good kick.
Yep. You know, we're asking a young man to kick a long way there. I would like to see Jim had a shot at that one. But that's second guessing. Not what we're here for.
And he has it. Ferguson, the 12, got some blackers ahead of him and pulls his way up for maybe 3 or 4 yards.
You know, Danyell Ferguson is making yardage where there is no yardage, and I think that bodes well for Miami as they try to get the thing down pat. It's 10-7, plenty of time left in the ball game. I think what they need now is a good offensive series. Settle down, don't throw the big bombs, just be consistent, and I think we need that out of Miami on this drive.
Rich Davis, who has 2 Super Bowl rings and 1 national championship as an assistant under Jimmy Johnson, looking on. 2nd and 6. Clement will throw under pressure. He's hit, fires. Tucker, the tight end, has it. First down all the way to the 43-yard line of Virginia Tech. Prelo on the tackle.
Well-designed offensive play, putting a double bite on the corner man out there. You got a man in the flat, the man on a corner cut. He chooses the up front man, and he puts the thing right behind him.
22-yard pickup, and he got whacked after he released.
Now again, Miami's in excellent field position, and let's see just exactly what kind of a offensive theory they're going to use to try to get the ball in the end zone. I formation.
Ferguson stopped at the line of scrimmage, almost gets a couple after the second effort once again. He is tough to bring down. Simonis in on the stop.
They've got an overload in that line. They've got an overload in the line and just penetrating tremendously well. Excellent run defense by the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Here at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Mike Green and Dick McPherson, along with our producer Paul Carlson and director Jimmy Edwards. Big East opener for Miami. Tech is 0-1 in the conference, lost here to Boston College in their season opening. 2nd and 9 now for the Hurricanes. Ferguson immediately brought down. J.C. Price and William Yarbrough right there, and they congratulate each other.
I don't think I've seen the Miami Hurricanes challenged defensively by any team like Frank Beamer and his football team is doing today. They are going after him with everything they have. They know they've got an inexperienced quarterback in there. He doesn't have a chance to read, check off because of the cadence problems. There's just too many red shirts around the white shirts.
What quickness from Yarbrough to make a great play. And here we go again. Big third down. They've had a lot of them. Tech has come through on most of them defensively.
I think that now you're going to see Ryan Clement doing a better job because I think they'll be just dropping back and throwing. This is what he can do best.
He's got plenty of time. Fires downfield. Intended for Atle Green, but way over his head. Dorian Gray with some fine coverage.
It looked like a broken pattern there. I'm impressed with the young Butch Davis, the way he's keeping his poise on the sideline. See, he's running an inside route here, and it's way over his head. I don't know whether it was supposed to be a streak or an outside cut, but it certainly wasn't where he ran it.
Because Clement was definitely downfield. So every time the Tech defense, you think they're bending a little bit, they come back and bite you.
Well, again, we've changed the field position around now. Christian's going to get the ball down there. Can Miami keep them pinned down there to keep attacking them? As long as they do that, they're going to be all right.
High snap. Larry Green once again back. This is a nice kick.
Nice punt. Nice punt. Probably somewhere inside the 20-yard line.
So Virginia Tech will take over at about their own 13-yard line. Final minute, third quarter. Butch Davis's Hurricanes still trailing 10-7. That a 37-yard kick, but perfect placement for Mike Chrissy.
93 yards to go. Where they're coming from. It's awful hard for Virginia Tech to do it against the Miami Hurricanes. So from a field position standpoint, down 3 points, but they have the field, which is exactly what you needed with a close ball game like this. Can they keep it? So this is a big series as far as Virginia Tech is concerned.
At times, both teams have moved the football pretty well, but the defense at both ends, both Miami and especially Virginia Tech, have come up with the big defensive plays when needed.
I think, quite honestly, Miami's got to run the ball a little bit better if they're going to really say that they're a good offensive football team against Virginia Tech.
Dwayne Thomas, few yards. James Burgess finally brings him down, maybe a 5-yard pickup. As you see the clock ticking away here in the third quarter. Thomas, the workhorse, having just a fantastic afternoon.
I think the offensive line, congratulations to the offensive line coach, and the offensive line, because moving Miami out like that is something that is very, very special. We got to make sure everybody understands that.
And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Virginia Tech with the football and the lead. 10-7 on their home field.
Once upon a time, there was 3 bears.
Right.
The daddy one, the mommy one, and the baby's one. And then Goldilocks found some porridge.
Right.
The daddy one was too hot. The baby one was just white. And it, don't move your lips, Daddy.
Okay.
And then Goldilocks woke up and, uh-oh, the end.
The Chevy Lumina. It's one of America's most popular cars, and you have never been closer to owning one. Lumina, with standard dual airbags, air conditioning, tilt wheel, power door locks, new safety features, a new design, and a price starting at $16,295. Car says $1,850 more. Not even close. Right now, you're closer to the best deal ever. Your Chevy Geo dealers have your Lumina for as low as $219 a month. As deals go, these are pretty close to perfect. That's genuine Chevrolet America at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Quarter of that Virginia Tech-Miami game. First of all, let's take you to the Carrier Dome, the battle between the Big Ten and the Big East. And the Gophers down 27-10, trying to get back in it. Greg Nelson is their receiver. Greg Sauter, the quarterback, a 13-yard strike, and that does cut the lead to 10. They are in the fourth quarter as well, 27-17. Fourth quarter action next from Miami and Virginia Tech. Gentlemen?
Just said it to me.
Thank you, John. Start of quarter number 4 at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Cornell Brown has made some big plays for Virginia Tech, so he deserves to get a little rest and get some ice up on that knee.
And
with a ankle.
They hope that they get a lot of rest because they got to move the football. Second down and 5. They got to get it out of there so Miami doesn't have that threat.
Druckenmiller goes into the shotgun once again.
Double tight end.
Edmonds with a nice gain and a first down.
Double tight end undressed that defense, and they certainly found the hole.
Ridgely with the tackle.
Big first down for the Virginia Tech. Again, they had him overshifted the flanker side. They gave it off with a fake out to the outside and just hit the weak side of the football play with a double tight end. Masterful call, great execution.
Yeah.
First and 10.
Edmonds and Thomas, the entire backfield run the ball well, but they've had a lot of room.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas, this time, not a lot of room. Kenny Holmes in on the stop.
They're eating up the clock. They're attacking. You can't do much better than that. And they're hanging on to the football. We can't have any turnovers by either side. It's a critical time of the game. You've got to be able to execute and do things the right way. They're getting field position back here now.
The one turnover was a Ryan Collins interception. It was costly because Miami was in the red zone.
Yep.
Brandon Simonis with the pick. 2nd down and 6. Thomas and Edmonds in the setback. Druckenmiller looks to throw, fires, incomplete. Intended for Edmonds out of the backfield.
I think he was just a little bit off on that. I think Edmonds pulled up the way he should pull up, so he didn't run out of bounds, and I think the quarterback felt he'd be a little bit closer to the sidelines than he was.
So another big 3rd down play coming up. Opening minute here in the 4th quarter. 10-7, Virginia Tech in front, and a 3rd and 6. 4 wide receivers now in the game for the Hokies. Michael Williams and Jermaine Holmes split out to the near side. Druckenmiller under pressure, got some room to run, and falls down. Ray Lewis gives him a whack.
I don't think he made the first down. He should have dove forward for it.
It's very close, but it appears he may be short.
Yep. I think he made the right decision to run for it, but he's got to dive. He's got to get the first down. He's got to dive straight ahead and get everything there. He's got to take it.
Lewis had a running start running at him, that's for sure. So they'll bring the chains out. And there are stats after quarter number 3.
Wow.
The rushing yardage is just, that's hard to imagine doing that kind of damage against Miami.
Yep.
Miami's passed the ball well. Collins threw some nice passes before getting hurt, as you see, just a little bit short. And Clement also throwing the ball. But it hasn't resulted in a lot of points. So a 4th down and about 1. John Thomas will come out and punt. So Frank Beamer with the lead does not want to take any chances and give Miami excellent field position. Tony Gator will be back to receive. Thomas set to go. Gator, as we mentioned, already has returned to punt for a touchdown, a 46-yarder against Florida A&M. High snap, but Thomas handles it. Low kick. And it takes a Virginia Tech bounce. Boy, does it ever. Rolls all the way down to the 13-yard line. John Thomas with a nice roll. He certainly does his job. Early 4th quarter. Virginia Tech leads, 55-yard punt for John Thomas. Today's Miami and Virginia Tech game is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And John Hancock, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games.
There are a lot of reasons why we created Ford Windstar with over 40 standard safety features, including standard dual airbags and standard anti-lock brakes. Many reasons for giving Windstar secure handling and making it longer for a smoother ride. We could acquaint you with some of these reasons, but why wake them up? Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
Johnny Bench for S&K's Double Play Sale.
Why shop the department stores when S&K has thousands of suits on sale? Right now, you can take home 2 S&K suits for less than you'd expect to pay for 1 department store suit. These are great-looking wool blend suits you can wear year-round, and you get 2 for under $200. So pick up your next double play at S&K, because if you go to a department store, you're going to strike out.
5 area locations in Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Fort Chiswell.
Miami trailing deep in their own territory. Coach Butch Davis knew it was going to be tough. Knew he had certain keys that he had to have this afternoon to beat Virginia Tech.
We have to be able to effectively run the ball. Even though they're an 8-man front concept team, they'd like to discourage the run. I think we can't allow it to be a throw it 35, 40 times a ball game type of a situation. And I think we got to play well in the special teams. It's something that we take a great deal of pride in. We got to make some things happen special teams wise.
Special teams, Virginia Tech puts Miami deep in their own territory. Clement's going to throw on first down, complete to Atle Green, who gets up near the first down, knocked out of bounds by Torian Gray.
I'm impressed now with the way this Clement man throws the football, but a difference maker in this game is what the punter just did. He completely turned the field position around, and now they've got a long way to go, but they certainly get off to a good start trying to move the football down the field.
You know, when you talk about matchups, so often special teams is the last, if you ever talk about it, but how often does it make the difference in a football game? So many times.
So many games. This is when it all matters.
Ferguson, a couple of yards. Still plenty of time. 13 minutes remaining here in Blacksburg.
You know, I think that the offensive line coaches of both football teams, Art Kehoe and J.B. Grimes, because both lines have played, in my opinion, outstandingly today. When you take the pressure that they've had against that Virginia Tech team, you've got to give credit to the offensive line of Miami.
So Ryan Collins watching as Ryan Clement directs the Hurricane offense. Quick shot under pressure, gets rid of it, complete to Derek Harris. Short of the first down.
Derek did what he had to do. He made the catch. Clements did what he had to do. He get rid of the football, and it made something positive on a very negative thing that was happening.
Pressure once again there from the Virginia Tech defense.
Well, again, they're just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him, and you got to hand it to Ryan Clement, a brand new young quarterback. Slippery field.
Torian Gray almost came up with a sack. Clement did a good job spotting Harris under duress. And a 3rd and 5.
I'm not sure he spotted it. We're awful lucky that he got it off to him.
I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And there you see the difference first half, second half. Defensive reign. Clement. Quick throw. Almost intercepted by Newsom. Had it in his hands and dropped it. He's had one of the best games of his career.
Where is Newsom from? Is he from Florida? He has to be from Florida the way he's playing.
From Hampton, Virginia.
Hampton, this close.
And he came close to a huge play.
Yeah, he's from the South at least. That was, now let's see what this punter can do in terms of changing field position. Because we're just changing the ball. Let's see what happens at Virginia Tech and where they get it from.
Tech again, excellent in terms of blocking kicks.
They put so much pressure on, he doesn't have time to really unload on it. That coming.
Block! They got it! Michael Stewie falls on the football. They got 3 kicks last week.
Amazing. What Frank Beamer's football teams in terms of blocking kicks, amazing position.
Angelo Harrison, the man to block it.
Oh. You knew they were going to put the pressure on.
Since Frank Beamer arrived at Virginia Tech, that's the 45th block the Hokies have had.
Sure. It isn't anything unusual. They know what's happening. It's tough to defend against.
Again, last week, they blocked the field goal attempt, they blocked an extra point, and they blocked the punt.
Now they've got to do something with it here. They've got to do something with it. Great field position. Special teams has done it for them again. 2 big special teams plays.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Edmonds gains maybe 2, quickly brought down. That's the 5th straight regular season game going back to last year that Virginia Tech has at least 1 block kick.
You know, it's an amazing statistic, but by the same token, you saw how he reached in for it. They're extremely well coached, and they drill and work on it. It's paying off when it should pay off. Nobody needed it any more than they needed it here today.
But as you say, they've got to punch it in. They've got to take advantage. 2nd down and 6. 2nd and goal from the 6, we should say. Dwayne Thomas Goes nowhere. Marvin Davis quickly wrapped him up.
You've got to give credit to the poise of Jim Druckenmiller, how he's checking off the football. Everything's happening good. It just didn't break because the penetration was there. Watch the Miami defense with the counter series coming back. The backs, they're just not cutting off the backside, and they've got to do it because they've got great speed and tenacity on the Miami defense. Third down play.
4 wide receivers come in for Virginia Tech. 3rd and goal at the 5. Thomas is the lone setback.
Shotgun series.
Druckenmiller fires, complete, but well short. Ray Lewis right there to stop Brian Still after he made the reception. Yep. And it's going to be 4th and goal at the 3. It's a tough call. But he's going to bring out his kicker. They've got to go for the points. 3rd and
absolutely
4th and goal is difficult.
What happens, they've got the score now. And let me say this to you. This young man has to get this field goal. I can't ever remember a coach having so much faith in a kicker as Frank Beam is showing here today.
And he's had a tough afternoon.
Yes, he's had a tough afternoon. He's had a tough year. Not a great year last year. I think that this guy has got to be thankful for the coach that really believes in him and get this thing done. And I know that he'll put this one through.
This is a 20-yarder. Then he missed from 25. That one, however, was blocked. Yep. He's missed from 48, 33.
The 20-yarder is nothing more than an extra point. There's only over here the sidelines. Should be a excellent football play right here.
But the smart call. Still so much time. 10 minutes remaining. And he puts that one through. Yep. Atle Larsen gives Virginia Tech a 13-7 lead. The block punt, the key. Virginia Tech forcing the turnover. And there's your score. The Hokies lead it over the Hurricanes. Exactly 10 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter in Blacksburg.
Burger King presents the first ever college football Top 10 Fans Poll, where you, the fan, votes for who's number 1. For the 3rd straight week, the number 1 team is Florida State. Go to Burger King and find out how you can make your team number 1.
So the Nittany Lions of the Fighting Irish have given us another great college football game. And here are 2 tired generals looking for each other at midfield.
Tough break, Joe.
Yeah, I know. The tie's too much.
It's nice, but maybe next time something in a crew neck.
How'd you think that'd be too casual?
Collect a Burger King Legends of College Football Cup. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents.
Look, Joe, it's not the end of the world. Next cup, think pastels.
Waiting for the ultimate chicken finger food? Try new Colonel's Crispy Strips from KFC. Juicy, all-white meat chicken, freshly prepared with our special extra tasty crispy recipe. New Colonel's Crispy Strips are good enough to be a meal, so eat them with a knife and fork, if you can wait that long.
Everybody needs a little KFC.
And for a mealtime treat, bring home 3 Colonel's Crispy Strips, mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw and a biscuit, all for just $2.99.
Big East studio, let's take you back for an update at Kentucky. A long pass play. The ball is at the 8-yard line, and South Carolina is down by 7 in the ball game. But Steve Tannehill, who's having a great afternoon with 143 yards passing, this is most of it on this play as he goes to Stanley Pritchett, and Pritchett gets away from a defender. He's on the move, 92 yards, the 3rd longest pass in Gamecock history. They missed the point after, so they are still down by 1. That's the update. Now back to the game. Miami and Virginia Tech, it's now a 6-point game. Gentlemen?
A sold-out Lane Stadium at Blacksburg. And Virginia Tech desperately needing that first win. Lead it now 13-7 because of this field goal.
Excellent snap, excellent hold, excellent distance. It's hard to miss those, and he did a great job on it. The mission is loud and clear, Miami Hurricanes. You've got to get to the end zone. And if you get in the end zone, you got a chance to win this game. On the other side of the ball, Virginia Tech got a clean house, a long way to go. Let's see what happens here. Going out of the end zone, so we're all right, no problem. Going to start on the 20-yard line, middle of the field, 80 yards to go.
Larsen comes up big, doesn't give Tony Gator a chance to return. And that's been instrumental. Again, the Hurricanes came in number 1 in the conference in kickoff returns. There's your scoring drive. Again, because of Angelo Harrison's block punt. A short one, and they finish it off with just 3. Let's give Miami a lot of credit defensively. A couple of times Virginia Tech had excellent field position. Miami defense bent a little, but they did not break.
Well, you've got to remember now, they've got 3 points in the second half. And so the Miami defense has really settled down as to what's happening. Now can they do it offensively? An 80-yard drive. Haven't had one yet today.
Ryan Clement, a quarterback, on first down, fires downfield. Complete. Jamie German with the long reception. A 42-yard pickup.
I tell you, there's some great athletes on both ends of the ball. Great throw, great catch. It's almost uncanny the way they're able to pull these things off. And, you know, you don't know where the free safety is to help the guy on this football play.
So German with a big reception. And now let's take a look at our John Hancock out-of-town scores, brought to you by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Clement again to throw on first down. Omar Roll with the reception. An 8-yard pickup. Larry Green on the stop.
It was 80 yards. Then it became 39 yards. Now it's 31 yards. And second down and 2. So Miami is doing what they have to do, but they also have to get the ball in the end zone.
A couple of times they have been in the red zone, but Virginia Tech's defense has stopped, including one time Brandon Simonis, an interception of a Ryan Collins pass. Second and 2. Harrison and Ferguson the setbacks. Ferguson has the first down. Yarborough brings him down, but not before they move the chains again.
One of the best conceived football plays blocked well today. It's a one man, one hit for a first down on second down and 2. Now the yardage gets a little bit tougher. 26 yards in. But again, go back to the stat you were telling the people about when you started this thing in terms of how many times they've scored inside the end zone, red zone.
Inside the 20 on a 1st and 10. They were 6 for 6, all touchdowns prior to today. Yeah. Virginia Tech has stopped that. Torian Gray almost a sack. And Coleman can't hold on. J.C. Price forces a fumble, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Miami ball. Great pressure from Virginia Tech.
You know, you talk about pressure. It's 1 red shirt, 2 red shirts, 3 red shirts, ball being fumbled out of bounds. That doesn't do very much good for a young quarterback. Mrs. Clements is worried about her son, 16.
A host of Hokies almost grabbing hold of Clement. Very elusive, however. Broke 2 tackles.
Now watch the poise. See how he comes back from this. See if he's going to be jittery or is he just going to settle in and throw the football properly.
Loss of 4 on the play, so 2nd and 14.
They got him off schedule, which is what they tried to do.
Clement avoids the tackler, and it's complete. Well short of the first down.
He answered my question. He had pressure, stood right up, and threw it right in there.
Yatil Green with another tough catch in traffic. Johnson and Gray in on the stop. Hey, Yatil Green he's had a couple of catches where guys surround him, and this is one of them.
Yeah. It's not a hard thing to do, though. He's coming back to the football. There's no problem there.
Although that time they were a little bit further off than I originally thought. He was practically wide open on that. third and 6. Clement under pressure, flushed out of the pocket. Gets rid of it. Oh, Harris can't hold on. Incomplete. Derek Harris had it in his hand.
I thought Darius was going to walk in. I couldn't. Yeah. That evens it up. 2 drop passes for touchdown.
J.C. Price again with big pressure.
I mean, Ryan Clement is, I'm impressed with the way this young man is operating. Here again is a good call by these people. He's going to go for the first down.
That's not only a first down if he catches that, that's 6 points.
That's it, yep.
4th down and 6, and they're going to go for it. Just under 8 minutes remaining, 4th quarter. Hurricanes trail 13-7.
They're coming. They're coming.
Clement under pressure, fires downfield. Green can't hold on. As the defensive pressure forced Clement to throw it perhaps a bit early.
Yep.
Virginia Tech football.
Again, I think he had to get rid of the football, just get it up in the air. I think he threw it just a little bit too far, not allowing a great high athlete to jump up and get the football.
Now let's credit the freshman, Lauren Johnson, with some good coverage there.
Yes. Now they moved him, moved him right back to where he could handle everything. Great credit to Lauren on that play.
Dorian Gray and William Yarbrough with some pressure on the blitz.
Now Miami Hurricanes have got to strengthen the defense, keep them down, pinned down inside. But Virginia is looking out of the I formation, going to run it powered right at him.
Dwayne Thomas with a big hole. Dennis Scott in on the tackle. Marvin Davis also.
Oh, I like the way he's running with a 13-7 lead. He doesn't give any quarter. He gets everything he can straight ahead and hurts people as they're tackling him.
Virginia Tech has never beaten Miami. 0-12. They've been trounced the last couple of years in terms of offense. Have not done a lot of scoring, but they've got a 13-7 lead right now. 6-yard pickup on the play, 2nd and 4. Thomas again, and maybe a couple short of the first down. Ray Lewis.
Long 2 yards, 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Ray Lewis, a typical performance. Butch Davis has seen his team hang around. They've had some opportunities squandered.
6:52 to go, 2 timeouts for each football team. The clock becomes awful important in this situation we're here right now.
Another big
first down is big for Virginia Tech.
And this is a big 3rd down, 3 yards to go. They kick it out. Dwayne Thomas, good pursuit, and he goes nowhere. Ray Lewis with a super play.
All-American play to stop him in bounds on that play without a first down.
One of the premier linebackers in the nation.
What we talked about before, you can't run outside on these people without holding him in there, because you've got an All-American linebacker that comes all the way from the inside and makes the play, and he loves it.
So on 4th down, John Thomas to punt again. Tony Gator is back. We also have Trent Jones back. Gator the deep man. Thomas gets off a nice kick. Gator backpedaling. Has to go all the way back to his 18. Starts all over again. Has some blockers. Up to the 30 and brought down there.
5:48. Instead of an 80-yard drive, this time they've got a 70-yard drive.
So Thomas does his job. Miami gets the ball back. A little under 6 minutes remaining.
$5,000 for the baby. I'm embarrassed to take this. You could do something with it. Like what? Go on a cruise. If your mother and I want to do that, we'll do that. I can't pay this back. Pay it back by doing the same thing for your grandchild.
Furnace not heating like it used to? Get the Train 2-stage 80 furnace with a low speed for mild conditions and a high speed for extreme cold. It heats your home evenly, efficiently, and quietly. It's hard to stop a Train.
Call Joe A. Perlman today about Train's free 10-year extended parts and labor warranty.
Miami Hurricanes trailing in the 4th quarter of a Big East game. That's only happened one time. That was back in 1993 when they lost at West Virginia 17-14. That was their only loss ever in Big East Conference play.
And right now we're talking defense. Just one more time. Do it for us now, defense, and we're going to be fine. We can take the ball the rest of the way. This is a big series right here.
Clement under pressure right away. George Del Rico. Flag on the play. Nope, apparently not. Pardon me, Del Rico with a big play.
You know, I can't get over the bravado of Bud Foster and Rod Sharpless, the way they're going after these Miami Hurricanes. They've got a young quarterback in there. They've got them jittery. They're just attacking, getting them off balance.
A lot of guys
they might need 2 series now.
9-yard loss, 2nd down. Clement fires, incomplete, intended for the tight end Tucker.
He had him and just overthrew him a little bit. Throw it up in the air a little bit. Let Tucker get it.
Simonis, the linebacker, with some good coverage.
I think if a little softer touch by Ryan Clement was in there, I think they had what they wanted. Tucker had a beat, but he made it a pinpoint pass, couldn't get to it. So third down and long. I said they only needed one series. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here on this football play.
Once again, they're on their feet at Lane Stadium.
Third down and 19.
Clement fires downfield. Intercepted. William Yarborough with the pick.
Got to fight back there. Got to fight. Don't.
Omar Rowe was the intended receiver, but Clement overthrew him.
Again, we had that deep middle man was where he was supposed to be. We got a flag on the play here.
After the interception, an illegal block in the back by the intercepting team. First down.
They're moving the ball back, so it isn't as tough as it seemed because they've lost a lot of field position here.
Tell you what, you look at the interception, Yarborough comes up with it, but Larry Green with some excellent coverage.
I think that the ball was overthrown for one thing, but they were playing the deep pass, third down and 19. There was somebody open across the middle of the thing. I think the kid just wanted to make the big play all at once. But again, the ball is on the 26-yard line. There's 4:55 to go. Can we eat up the clock and help out defense one time? I think that's the key. Can the Virginia Tech offense blow them out of there? And I think we're going to be playing run all the way.
There still is a lot of time. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. They'll take it at their own 26 after the penalties walked off. Ken Oxendine. He's wide open. Tries to cut back inside. Finally slowed down at the 32. Big play from Ken Oxendine.
It's amazing. 3 entries, 3 big plays. Kenny Oxendine is back, and he gave him a great lift. One thing you noticed, he turned back inside to keep the ball in field and keep the clock running.
41
just moving it up. Oh, yeah. Amazing. 0-2 Virginia Tech. Look at the fans. This is one of the great things that's happened at Virginia Tech football, and they've given the fans everything they want. We haven't even got the final score yet, but they've given them everything they wanted right now.
He still needs some more points with a 6-point lead.
And to get him on the Miami Hurricanes is a very, very tough thing to do.
Oxendine again. Goes nowhere this time. Stopped quickly by Marvin Davis. Nelson Smith in there.
Now the clock is your best friend. The clock is your best enemy.
We're going to mix up some calls. We'll go with some 5 combo, run banded. All right? We'll stay away from bracket. All right? After that, we'll run some PLC cover 3.
Everybody's coaching up a storm right now. This is the critical time.
Cover 4, that type of thing. Okay? All right, we just got to see they're giving us a lot of Dolphins. We got to stay away from that and cover 4. We have
Coach Foster and Coach Sharpless.
Bud Forster, the co-defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Clock still moving. 2nd and 9.
Double tight end.
They go inside this time, and maybe a couple of yards.
They undressed that defense a little bit with that double tight end, which allows that fullback. That's the 3rd time they've run that football play with that gap there.
Brian Edmonds just didn't have a lot of room there.
So he had a lot of room, but somebody sealed it off fast. That's the Miami hearing. Again, you've got to admit that they've settled down tremendously well. It's just a question now whether Miami's going to have enough time to move down the football field. But everything good is happening as far as the strategy that Virginia Tech is going. They're eating up the clock. It's down to just about 3 minutes now.
Big 3rd down and 5. Druckenmiller kicks it into Edmonds. And he stops short of the 1st down. Miami defense comes up big again. James Burgess and Ray Lewis in the vicinity.
You're talking about a screen, a draw, a counter football play. Wonderful call. See, because it slows down the rush, because it makes these people be very, very sensitive of what's happening. Usually a trap that goes along with it, but what happens is a great Miami linebackers fill so beautifully.
Burgess and Lewis, 2 excellent linebackers. Butch Davis is going to watch Atle Larsen try another field goal.
No, he's going to put the game out of reach with this one right here, and he's going to be a hero forever.
It's a 42-yarder. He's 2 for 5 today. He's hit one from 44 yards, but he's missed easier ones. No good. Had some distance, but he's wide right. And Miami still alive in this one. 2:08 remaining. Fourth quarter in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech holding on to a 13-7 lead. The Hurricanes have the ball.
Identify yourself. Do you go for the gusto? Go out on a limb? Go full speed ahead? Go where no man has gone before? Or are you a cornflake eater? Guess not. You go for the adrenaline-pumping, milk-defying taste of Wheaties, made with wall-to-wall, indoor-outdoor, toasty, tasty, 100% whole wheat. A whole mouthful of flavor. It's the whole Megillah. So for taste that goes the distance, goes all out, go for the over-the-top taste of whole wheat Wheaties.
Okay, watch closely. This is the new DQ Treats a Pizza, but it's not a hot eat. It's a cool treat, a treat you eat like pizza. The crust is made of fudge and chocolate crunch. Then there's lots of Dairy Queen soft serve and your choice of 4 different combinations of toppings. New frozen DQ Treats a Pizza, the only pizza that tastes better cold.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
PAT field goal kicking. You remember now there's a snap, there's the hold, and then the kick, and don't blame it all on the kicker. Let's watch the holder on this thing who gets the football, watch his hand come off the ball just prior to the kick. Plus he doesn't turn the laces around, makes it very, very tough on the kicker. I don't know who to blame, but there's more people wrong here than just the kicker. Can we get the action?
Larsen furious with himself. John Thomas, the punter, he's the holder. And here we go again. Miami with the football at their own 25. They trail by 6. Ryan Clement fires. Complete. Tucker to tight end. Knocked out at the 31. Picks up maybe 6 yards on the play. George Del Rico knocks him out. Ryan Clement has played the entire second half. Ryan Collins, sprained shoulder of the first half, has not returned.
You got to give George Del Rico credit for getting across the football field with a tight end like that, with all the great run support he's given all day long. Another outstanding linebacker like Ray Lewis for the Miami Hurricanes.
Exactly 2 minutes remaining. Virginia Tech is led from
70 yards to go.
Clement complete. Samonis right there on the tackle. Carlo Joseph
I
on the
don't think he made it. It's going to be short yardage, I believe. Just narrowly missed the first down.
Key as always the spot.
Get him up over the ball, and it's third down.
Third and certainly less than a yard.
Get your quarterback speak. Just take it right there. Over.
Clement fires cross field. Yatel Green has the first down near midfield.
Clement to throw the football.
That is
amazing from a timing standpoint. He doesn't worry where it's going. He's letting it fly.
14-yard pickup.
Stop the clock. 1:29 to go. And we're just about with 50 yards to go to get in the end zone, and everybody knows what they have to do. They have to get in the end zone and kick the extra point to win this football game.
They have 2 timeouts remaining. Omar Roll checks in. He split out to the right side. Clement under pressure. Looks, fires, complete again. Yatel Green, another first down up to the 35-yard line. And more importantly, he gets out of bounds.
121. 121 and 35 yards.
16-yard pickup.
First and 10. The way they've moved the ball is tremendous. They had a blitz on that time also. The zone coverage behind it.
Clement under pressure. Incomplete, intended for Magic Benton. A little too high. He would have been out of bounds most likely if he held on anyway.
Well, I think it's nice to get rid of the ball. Didn't use much time. We took 9 seconds off the clock, and the second down and 10 with no sack. Much smarter than what he's done in the past.
Virginia Tech led 10-0 early in the first half. Miami came back, made it 10-7. A second half field goal by Larsen. And that's your score. Miami has never led in this game. Second down and 10. Clement, quick drop, throws, complete, and he runs out of bounds at about the 28.
Third down and 2, and the ball is out of bounds, 106. An excellent throw over the head of a linebacker there. I don't know if we can get the thing on it, but it was great spot throw. Excellent coverage.
And Whitell Green coming up with a big receptions, one right after another.
It's a nice target to hit out there, and excellent receiver. He's going to get a lot of them during the year because of that.
Green at 6'3", he's got 8 receptions. Third down and 2. This time Ferguson, and it's going to be very close.
You got to go for it. Didn't make it. It's going to be close, but I'd say it's about 4th and inches that they've got to make up here.
With 57 seconds remaining.
Yep.
So the officials call timeout for a measurement.
Now the Ryan Clement 4th down play was an excellent call with Ryan Collins, but I don't see this young man being that same kind of quarterback. I don't think we can get a boot off the thing, but we could get some kind of a play action to make it effective, I think.
Coming up, we're going to have our forward player of the game.
There's your inches. 4th and inches.
Virginia Tech, when they've needed to come up with a big defensive play, they've done it all afternoon. But there's none bigger than right now.
No, if they ever stop them here, with these over 50,000 fans, I don't know what's going to happen. It must be 50,000 the way this place is packed today.
Sold out Lane Stadium. Ferguson and Joseph are the setbacks. Ferguson the deep back. Ryan Clement over center. 4th and inches. And it's Joseph who's got the first down easily.
I think, again, a great call. The clock is stopped, but he's still going to take a timeout, huh? Clock is stopped with a first down.
Clement going over to talk to the officials, and Miami will call their second timeout here in the half. They have 1 remaining.
I think they gave it to the best man coming in over the top, just exactly what they should do, because they've been such a tailback-oriented thing. One of the things that I think they should have done with 2 timeouts here, try to get a play run with the clock stopped so they'd still have 2 times. Now they're down to 1. In his defense, they don't need a timeout for a field goal because they got to go for the touchdown. So they have one more thing. Now they can get everything settled down. What kind of a drive they're going to have from 25-yard line on in. And they've got to go for the end zone. 50 seconds, plenty of time with 2 timeouts.
There's your time remaining. If you're wondering, you joined us late and why Clement is in the game. Ryan Collins sprained shoulder in the first half. Clement at times has looked good. They just haven't been able to punch it in the second half.
I think that Clement, if you take a look at him as a quarterback, he's done everything. He's done nothing to hurt them as a quarterback. He's done things to help them. That's encouraging.
And he's thrown under a lot of pressure. He's been whacked around in the backfield all afternoon.
And, you know, the only turnover he had was the big deep throw, which turned out just as good as a punt. They were lucky enough to have that thing because there's no run back with a penalty. The ball game is right here, ladies and gentlemen, just the way you want it. 50 seconds to go, 13-7. One is going to win, one is going to lose within the next 50 seconds with 25 yards to go.
Miami has it at the Virginia Tech 24. First down and 10. Clement to throw. Incomplete, intended for Green. Throw it short. Larry Green in on the coverage along with Torian Gray. Second and 10 coming up.
Well, again, that's inexperience showing up because they go into a man-to-man coverage here, and we had some great athletes down the football field that we just never had a chance to look at.
Butch Davis, just his 3rd game as head coach of Miami.
They can guess right with the call. Ryan Clement will get it there. He's not reading, he's just throwing his spot.
Clement under pressure, flushed out by Coleman, and he's sacked. J.C. Price comes up big again, although Coleman was the man that forced him to make the run. Clock continues to roll. And you see Butch Davis screaming and finally gets the timeout. That is their last timeout.
That was Miami's 3rd and final timeout of the game.
I can't just watch how he comes in for the hit. You can't be running around against this wide rush that they have. He's getting hits from all over the place. Now, that's about the third one that he's made the same way.
Well, Price gets the sack, but Hank Coleman is really just as responsible for it.
I think that, one flushes, one hits, one flushes. It's team defense, well coordinated, well drilled, and Ryan Clement felt that. Now, what happens here, we've got no timeouts left. We're down in a critical area. And what happens if the ball is completely inbounds, they've got to hurry up and get up to the football, and that's what hurts them doubly. So what the defense from Virginia Tech has to do is keep them on the football field, and they've got the game won. Just don't let them in the end zone. Keep them on the football field, and they'll win the game.
The ball is all the way back at the 34, so it's a 3rd and 20. Sold out Lane Stadium. They've watched their Hokies lose their first 2 games, both at home. They were very embarrassed with last week's loss to Cincinnati. And they played a team this week that they had never beaten. 0-12 against Miami. 29 seconds left. Again, Miami out of timeouts. Everyone on their feet. Clement downfield. Incomplete, intended for Tucker. Just threw it a little far, and 4th down coming up.
It's where he had to throw it. Now, they've got time to complete the ball in the middle, run up and stop the clock. So they can throw it anywhere on 4th down. Don't just throw it out to the sideline. Because they've got time. They've got to make sure they complete it for a 1st down.
They've got to get up to the 14-yard line.
Right.
It's 4th and 20.
Right. I think they've got to keep both backs in, help protect them, let the wide receiver athletes. Oh, my goodness.
Virginia Tech will call a timeout. That's their 2nd this half, so they have 1 remaining.
Wow. That's a huge break for Miami. A huge break for Miami to have a chance to bring a young quarterback over and tell them exactly what they want to do.
Guess they want to make sure no mistakes are made here. Set up the defense, that's obvious.
Yep. I mean, I think it's obvious what they're doing, but they're giving a tremendous life to Miami with a young quarterback. I think they're a little excited down there, don't you?
Well,
all I know is I love Virginia Tech and I love Miami because they're playing this game the way it should be played with everything they've got. We're down to the last play as far as Miami's concerned, or they've got a chance to get in the end zone. Now they've got a tough call to make, but I think the key to it all is don't just think of the outside. You can throw it anywhere. Everybody run up to the ball. All those things can be coached up because Virginia Tech called timeout. And I know they had a lot of wonderful things to tell them, but they helped Miami.
Fourth down and 20. Miami with the ball at the Virginia Tech 34. They trail 13-7 with 23 seconds left in the game. Clement back to pass. Fires downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Green. Hold. No flag on the play.
Well, let's see if there should be a flag on the play.
Lauren Johnson, the freshman.
He'll never have any bigger play than that in his life. Look at him. Look at him run. Here it comes. Here it comes. We got to remember that that ball is thrown up to anybody, not just him. They both had a chance for it. I think that's a good call by the official.
There's certainly contact there, but Johnson, what was so important was he turned around and he made a play for the football. And with 17 seconds to go, Druckenmiller will just sit on the ball, and Virginia Tech will have their first ever victory over Miami. And that one will do it. Frank Beamer.
Frank Beamer said during the ball game, this win will cure 0-2 very, very fast, and it's cured right here today. The greatest win, in my opinion, that Virginia Tech has had since I don't know when. Congratulations to them. Tough luck to the Miami Hurricanes and Butch Davis. He's having a rough start, but I'll guarantee you he'll do a great job there. It's a wonderful thing that's happened in this beautiful countryside right here. Congratulations to you all.
So after going 0-12 against Miami, Virginia Tech with the victory. There's your final score from Blacksburg. Our fourth player of the game will be Dwayne Thomas. 24 rushes, 166 yards. Brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Let's go to our Big East studios and John Sanders.
Finished. We have more to come from our Big East studio. We'll check out some other highlights, update exactly what has happened so far on this Saturday of college football in the Big East. Stay with us. We'll be back with more right after this word.
Just imagine.
They had a tough one at Blacksburg against Frank Beamer's Virginia Tech team. Tech up 3, and Mike Chrissy's punt is blocked. Michael Stew recovers it inside the 10, leading to a Hokie field goal, 13-7. Ryan Clement in for another injured quarterback today. Ryan Collins barely gets this one off. Derek Harris, if he would have held on, should have had a touchdown. He didn't. One last chance. See the time, you see the situation. Clement for your teal green, contact but no flag, and Virginia Tech beats Miami 13-7. Only the Canes' second loss in Big East play. Miami's 1-2 for the first time since 1978. We showed you one kickoff return in the Pac-10, a punt return, one of the key plays, in UCLA's game at Washington State.
Stopping sports tonight, it could be the biggest victory in Virginia Tech football history. Today, the Hokies knocked off 17th-ranked Miami at Lane Stadium. It's Tech's first win in 13 tries against the Hurricanes. The Hokies become the first unranked team in 11 years to beat Miami. Tech has gotten off to a very disappointing start, 0-2, but today makes everyone feel a lot better. We pick it up in the first half. Dwayne Thomas dives in from a yard out. The Hokies taking a 7-0 to lead in the first quarter. The Hokies defense came up big all day. Hurricanes on the doorstep, but Brandon Simonis picks off the Ryan Collins pass. Check out the replay. A great catch by Simonis, one-handed, and brings it in, stopping the Hurricanes' drive. Tech had great success running the ball all day. Check out this run by Dwayne Thomas. They were trying to run the clock out at the end of the first half. Dwayne says, nothing with that. I'm going, well, not all the way, but almost all the way. Thomas ripping off a big run. He had 167 yards on the day for Virginia Tech. The Hokies led 10-7 at the half. Second half, Hokies special teams, Angelo Harrison, number 83, coming in and blocking the Miami punt. This would set up a field goal by Atle Larsen. Tech would have a 13-7 lead in the second half, and then it was up to the Hokies swarming defense all over Miami. George Del Rico right up the middle with the blitz, sacking the Miami quarterback. Then it's J.C. Price just blasting Ryan Clement. Finally, Miami with one last chance on fourth down. They're on the 25-yard line. They're trying to pick on the freshman Lauren Johnson, who's replacing Antonio Banks. He says, not going to do it. He knocks it away. Virginia Tech wins a big one. The fans came out onto the field afterwards, and players and coaches deserve to celebrate. Virginia Tech picking up just a great win, 13-7 the final over Miami.
I think this program, hopefully, I've talked about it, and we haven't always followed through, but there's a lot of first steps this program's taken in the last few years, and I'm hoping this is not the last one. I really think we found our Virginia Tech football team. I hope that we'll take this and go from here and on and be the type of team that I think we can be.
My goal when I came here from high school was to beat Miami, and, you know, finally it's my senior year and we did that, so, you know, this is the greatest feeling in the world.
And at halftime of the Tech game, two of the Hokies' all-time great football players were inducted into the Tech Hall of Fame, Bruce Smith and Tony Page Smith. The Hokies sack man in the early 80s and All-American as a junior and senior, won the Outland Trophy in '84 as the nation's outstanding lineman. Of course, Bruce Smith, now a member of the Buffalo Bills. And fullback Tony Page, who played with Smith in the early 80s. He spent time in the NFL with the Jets, Lions, and Dolphins, both NFL standouts, but it began in Blacksburg.
It certainly did. It all began here, and just being here is very exciting, and it brings back a lot of memories.
Meanwhile, in Death Valley, the Virginia...
Miami to 51 rushing yards while the Hokies amassed 300. But Steve Mason says Tech's Big East Conference win was about much more than some statistics. This victory came down to heart and character.
Frank Beamer's celebration was twice as nice. The Tech coach defeated Miami, and in the process, he watched his Hokies climb out of an 0-2 hole that most thought a near impossible task.
For them to hang in and for our coaches to get the game plan and for our players to go out there and practice the way they did this week and then to come and take it to the field and take it right to Miami, I don't know if I've ever had a more gratifying win.
Beamer's first win was sealed by a freshman. With starter Antonio Banks on crutches, the Canes went after what they thought was a handicapped freshman. But Lauren Johnson broke up Miami's last prayer and at the same time answered his own.
My first start, everyone had faith in me. No one let me down. Everyone pushed me. Everyone gave me motivation. I'm just proud of my teammates.
Tech's confidence got a huge jolt with the return of offensive stars Ken Oxendine and Brian Still. Still made an immediate impact, hauling in this 48-yard bomb that set up Tech's first touchdown. Dwayne Thomas's 1-yard dive put the Hokies on top, and Tech led 7-0.
We all came out and took a new attitude for the whole game. You know, this is our home field, and we wanted to protect it. So we went out and played like we didn't have nothing to lose.
Miami passed for over 300 yards, but the Hokies stopped the Canes when it counted. Brandon Simonis' interception was one of 2 Tech picks on the day. Special teams also played a role. Angelo Harrison's blocked punt set up Tech's final score.
Defense is just wanting it, and today we won this game so badly when we knew it was a must-win.
Miami came within 3 on Danyell Ferguson's 5-yard run, but Tech's D held in the second half, and a fourth-quarter field goal gave the Hokies the cushion they needed, and Tech wins 13-7.
We done beat everybody else that we got on our schedule, and Miami was that one team that we hadn't beat yet. And with this win, it gives a lot of guys a lot of confidence.
So for the first time in Tech history, the Hokies defeat the Hurricanes. But more importantly, Tech notches its first win of the season in dramatic defensive fashion. Next up for the Hokies, Pittsburgh on the road. In Blacksburg, Steve Mason, News 7 Sports.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Virginia broke the jinx at
Virginia Tech, having never lost in 20 games to a school from the state of Virginia. Virginia Tech is from Virginia. This was bad news for Virginia Tech. The Canes and the Hokies, Frank and the Beamer, are up 10-7 in the fourth. Miami's punting. Mike Chrissy is in the stew. Michael Stew blocks it, picks it up. That leads to a field goal. It'll be 13-7 Tech. Then with under 8 minutes to play, quarterback Ryan Collins hurt. Ryan Clement in, obviously number 2 on your Ryan depth chart. What a tremendous throw. Derek Harris is wide open. Canes get one last chance from the Tech 34 on 4th down. Clement to Yatil Green. Yatil the end of time. No good, no flag, no touchdown. Tech wins 13-7. So much for that Virginia thing. Quote of the day from J.C. Price of Tech, who had 3 sacks and set up quarterback Clement. It didn't matter to me if I had to chase him all the way to the parking lot when he was trying to go to the bathroom. I would have done it. J.C., did we need to know this? At Pullman, Washington State shut out the UCLA Bruins.
13-7 in this Big East battle. The Hokies offense reestablished its ground attack. Dwayne Thomas rushed for over 160 yards as the Hokies rolled up 300 on the ground. However, the star of Saturday's game was Tech's defense, now number 2 in the nation against the run. The Hokies kept Miami's quarterbacks on the run. J.C. Price led the charge with 3 sacks, and the youngsters came through. True freshman Pearson Prelo and Lauren Johnson were thrown into the fire, and both come away without getting burned. Miami tried to pick on Johnson on the final play of the game, but the freshman comes through, and the Hokies pick up what very well could be a season-saving win. Now Virginia Tech travels to Pittsburgh this Saturday. The Hokies are an early 2-point favorite, and you can catch that ball game right here on Channel 10. Kickoff is set for Saturday at noon, and we will hear from Virginia Tech. That'll take place tomorrow. Also, future NFL Hall of Famer Bruce Smith was on hand for Tech's win over Miami. Smith was in town for induction into the Virginia Tech Hall of Fame. Smith was the NFL's #1 pick back in 1985, and he's gone on to a stellar career with the Buffalo Bills. He says it's always good to get back to Blacksburg.
It all began here, and just being here is very exciting, and it brings back a lot of memories.
Well, these Hokie fans, as you could tell, are just enthusiastic about having you here. Any message you'd like to send back to them?
Well, I tell you, they've been great through the years, and I can see now by the turnout that they're still great, and I just thank them for all the support they've given to the Hokies and the organization here at Virginia Tech for so many years.
In high school football,
Let's go from business partners to sparring partners.
I have made a fist, and I'm thinking of using it.
Then, from the guys who created Frasier, it's the pursuit of happiness.
Must-see TV, NBC Tuesday.
Get pumped for a new life. Cut and run to Virginia Hair Academy for a new career. We'll teach you to be a star in the field with our state-of-the-art SCS 2000 Star System success techniques using Redken professional products, and look forward to a paycheck that's permanent. Change the way you spend your day. Call Virginia Hair Academy for a free catalog. Anything else can go.
WSLS, the spirit of Virginia.
This is Inside Tech Football. Today's show is brought to you by Advance Auto. Need a part delivered? PDQ? You'll find it in Advance. By Heilig Myers, we furnish America with value. By Delta Airlines, you'll love the way we fly. By the University Bookstore, your on-campus bookstore. By HQ, for fix-it-yourself home projects, it's HQ to the rescue. And by Kroger, if it's always good and always fresh, it's always Kroger.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to this week's look Inside Tech Football. I'm Bill Roth from our studios in Blacksburg, and boy, do we have a show for you today. The highlights of yesterday's Virginia Tech victory over the University of Miami Hurricanes in front of a sellout crowd here at Lane Stadium, Worsham Field on the Virginia Tech campus. We'll also preview next week's game against the University of Pittsburgh and talk about the rest of the season for the Hokies, who will play 6 of their final 8 games, as you might know, away from Blacksburg. But first, let's focus our attention on yesterday's game. You know, Virginia Tech, until yesterday, had never beaten the University of Miami in football. 12 games, 12 Miami wins, including a couple of bowl games. And while the games are usually close, Miami had always won, and yesterday seemed to be the most unlikely time that Virginia Tech would break the streak. After all, the Hokies were coming off a shutout loss at home to the University of Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Miami was 1-1, and they had scored 49 points in a win 2 weeks prior to the Blacksburg appearance against Florida A&M. So all signs were pointing to maybe another Miami victory. But boy, did the Hokies have something else in mind. An outstanding defensive effort, brilliant coaching, an outstanding running game, and it turned out to be a wonderful day at Blacksburg. There are the Hokies taking the field in front of a crowd of over 51,000, an overflow crowd. And from the opening couple of minutes of the game, it was very clear that Miami was going to have a tough time running the football as J.C. Price, who had an absolutely spectacular day, stopped Danyell Ferguson on that run. On third down, their quarterback, Ryan Clement, who was shaky before he was hurt, fumbled that football, and Cornell Brown knocked him down. And while Miami couldn't run at all day, the Hokies would total 300 yards on the ground, and Dwayne Thomas was one of the key reasons. He had over 80 yards in the first quarter, over 120 at the half, and he ended up with over 160 yards in this football game. He was outstanding running the football against the Miami team that over the last couple of years had been outstanding against the Hokies running the football. Tech's drive stalled at about the 15-yard line. Atle Larsen into attempt a field goal. It's blocked by Twan Russell. It remains a scoreless game in the first quarter. But on the next drive, the Hokies really got things going, and again, the run set it up. Thomas gets 15 yards on the very first play of the drive out to the Tech 49-yard line. And then on 2nd down and 7 from the Canes 48-yard line, Druckenmiller throws his very first pass of the day, and what a pass it was. A beauty to Brian Still, a 47-yard grab, and the Hokies had 1st and goal on the 1. First and goal from the 1-yard line. Here's the give to Thomas. Over the top he goes. Touchdown Tech. 1-yard Dwayne Thomas run. A magnificent first quarter for Thomas, and Tech has the lead over Miami.
Dwayne Thomas has been the workhorse all day, Bill, and he just follows the right side blocking there. He follows Edmonds up into the hole, dives over the top, and Tech takes the lead here 6-0.
The extra point made it a 7-0 Virginia Tech lead. Later, the Canes got some things going there. Collins goes to Green.
for a 46-yard pickup. But then when they tried to run it, Jones gets knocked down for a loss of 4 yards. And then later, Ryan Collins, their quarterback, goes back to pass, firing to the near sidelines, and he hooks up once more. Atle Green with the reception. Miami has a good drive going here. Look at the Tech run defense. Again, Jim Barron, outstanding play there. And then later from deep in Tech territory, the Hokies get their first interception of the season as Brandon Simonis picks off Collins on a 3rd and 4, and the Hokies maintain their 7-0 lead. Ken Oxendine made his season debut after missing the first couple of games because of a spiral fracture in his finger. What an impact he had, picking up 10 yards on this play. You can really just see the spark the Tech offense got with Ken Oxendine, the sophomore from Chester back. Always seems to do the good thing for the Hokies, always seems to gain yardage, and he's a great addition to the offense. Atle Larsen comes on later when the drive stalls and barely makes this one. Just dropped it over the bar. 44-yard field goal, and Tech had a 10-0 lead. Miami's only scoring drive of the day starts on a 23-yard Danyell Ferguson run. It was Miami's longest gain of the day on the ground, and it gave them a first down on the Tech 42. Later on 4th down and 1, Collins keeps on the quarterback bootleg, but watch when he goes down hard on his right shoulder there as Yarborough throws him down. He hurts his shoulder. It's a sprain. That would be the last play of the game for Collins. Ryan Clement came into the game to play quarterback for the Canes. Hands it off to Ferguson, who takes this in from 5 yards out. It's a 10-7 football game in the final moments of quarter number 2. Hokies apparently were going to sit on the clock here, but then a huge run. 40-yard run for Dwayne Thomas. Got the Hokies in good field position all the way down to the Miami 34-yard line with 11 seconds to go. Chance to get something going here. Well, one more pass gets Tech within field goal range. Can they get it? You betcha. Druckenmiller hooks up with Oxendine. It's a 16-yard pickup all the way down to the Miami 18-yard line. That means it's a 35-yard field goal attempt, but Larsen misses, unfortunately. And at halftime, it remains the Hokies 10 and the Canes 7.
It isn't new, it's never old, and it's not what you expect. But it's up and coming. It's right in front of you. It's the life of the party, the word on the street. It's in, it's always, and it's about time. It's where we're at, it's what you want, it's on your mind, it's in your mouth, it's pork, and it's catching on. The other white meat. Taste what's next.
The University Volume 2 bookstore takes pride as the official new off-campus store at Virginia Tech. Our motto, proudly serving a great university, encompasses a variety of services. Our general books department boasts over 40,000 academic, technical, and professional titles. Volume 2, located at University Mall, open 7 days a week with a great selection of Hokie wear. For catalog orders, call 1-800-392-2756.
For 30 days in September, Heilig Myers Furniture says we'll beat any advertised price on any sofa we sell. Guaranteed. Even after you buy, if you find a lower advertised price on the same sofa, we'll pay you 110% of the difference. And if you don't like any sofa you buy from us, we'll take it back. Guaranteed. The September Sofa Double Guarantee. 2 reasons why no store, nowhere, no way, no how beats Heilig Myers. We're Heilig Myers.
Welcome back to the show. At halftime, the Hokies had a 10-7 lead over the visiting Miami Hurricanes, trying to break the Canes' 71-game winning streak against unranked teams. That's right, Miami hadn't lost to a team outside the top 25 since Maryland won at the Orange Bowl way back in 1984. We've got the second half highlights of brilliant Tech defense coming up in a bit, but first, this week's features. Leading things off again this week is Frankly Speaking, our weekly visit with the Hokies head coach, Frank Beamer. You know, the demands on a coach's time can be really outrageous in major college football these days. Not only do you have to coach the football team, but dealing with the media can be quite a chore. Press conferences, press lunches, teleconferences, interviews galore. That's the subject of this week's edition of Frankly Speaking.
Coach, with all the coverage your football team is getting, I know the demands on your time have increased. What's a typical week like for you?
Well, there is a lot of things that go on, and of course being in a conference has helped that situation because the Big East has such a media market. But we do a Big East interview, and we send that out to all the different stations that are along the Big East, or that does the Big East teams. We do a hotline where people can call in and get information. We have a press conference on Tuesday where the media comes and we get out information that way. And then usually at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I usually do a couple of media functions at that time. So yeah, it does. It takes quite a bit of your time, but that's all part of it.
Exposure is great for Virginia Tech, the university in general, too, isn't it?
Well, it sure is. And again, I think by getting into the Big East and having, you know, a third of the population that you're going to every time you do one of these interviews or every time you do one of these TV shots, you know, you have that potential. And yeah, it's good for the football program, but it's great for Virginia Tech.
And if you ask any media member in your hometown, they'll tell you that Frank Beamer is one of the most cooperative and accessible coaches anywhere in college football. He'll very rarely turn down an interview, and he always has time to accommodate the media from the largest cities in the state to the smallest newspapers, television, and radio stations. And that's a credit to Frank Beamer. You know, the Hokies will play 6 of their next 8 games on the road. 8 regular season games remaining. Only 2 of them will be at Lane Stadium, Worsham Field. Last year, the Hokies proved that they can be a pretty good road team, and, well, we'll certainly find out because the next 2 weeks, the Hokies will be away from home. But, you know, this isn't the first time that Virginia Tech has had a streak like this. No way. Remember a few years ago, 5 straight games on the road? Let's look back on today's edition of Tech Up Close. This isn't the first time the Hokies have faced a stretch with this many road games. Back in 1991, Tech had 5 straight games away from home against the murderous schedule. You remember this trip? But it started in Raleigh against NC State, and then it was on to South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. Tech lost both of those games by a single touchdown. The next week, the Hokies traveled to Oklahoma to battle the Sooners. It was another close loss. And from there on to West Virginia, where the Hokies beat the Mountaineers by a touchdown. The following week, Tech played Florida State in Orlando. It was 5 straight road games. This year, the Hokies finished with 6 of their final 8 on the road. While being on the road is tough for some guys, at least this week, Mike Bayanshin gets to go home. Mike played his high school football at Pittsburgh Central Catholic High School. The junior offensive tackle is in his 2nd year as a starter for Tech. Bayanshin isn't the only Pennsylvanian on Tech's offense. In fact, 3 of the Hokies starters on offense are from the Keystone State. Quarterback Jim Druckenmiller is from Northampton, PA. Cornelius White is from Kendall, Pennsylvania. Along with Bayanshin, Tech's offense has a Pennsylvania flavor. By the way, Tech has received a number of verbal commitments from Pennsylvania high school players already this fall. Bruce was back in the news this week. Former Hokie All-American Bruce Smith has been inducted into Tech's Hall of Fame. The 1984 Outland Trophy winner was the #1 player picked in the NFL draft. After a sensational career at Tech, he had 46 sacks in his Tech career.
My store is my life. I've given it everything. To me, there's nothing else like it.
At Nationwide Insurance, we believe that every business is different. Each one has its own needs. You have to...
They've helped me with my home and car insurance, so I knew we could develop a plan to protect my business.
The last thing Bob needs to worry about is insurance. That's my job.
Nationwide is on your side.
It's the most popular meat in the world, and it's not what you're thinking. It's multilingual, multi-coastal. It's every day and everywhere. It's at home, and it's abroad. It's north, it's south, it's east, it's west, it's pork, and it's what the world is coming to. The other white meat. Taste, What's next?
For 30 days in September, Heilig Myers Furniture says we'll beat any advertised price on any sofa we sell. Guaranteed. Even after you buy, if you find a lower advertised price on the same sofa, we'll pay you 110% of the difference. And if you don't like any sofa you buy from us, we'll take it back. Guaranteed. The September Sofa Double Guarantee. 2 reasons why no store, nowhere, no way, no how beats Heilig Myers.
We're Heilig Myers.
We're Tech.
Virginia Tech.
We've got a big campus, beautiful surroundings. We've got lots of majors. We've got great professors. Great facilities.
We've got high-tech, state-of-the-art research.
And lots of great things to do. We've got it all at Virginia Tech.
Well, you know, since the Big East Football Conference was formed, the University of Miami had lost only 1 conference game. That was a couple of years ago when they lost at West Virginia University when the Mountaineers captured the Big East title after going 11-0 during the regular season. But West Virginia, that was the only game Miami had ever lost in the league. They were 20-1 when they came to Blacksburg, and they had some work to do. The Hokies not only had a 10-7 lead over the Canes yesterday at Worsham Field, but they were out hitting them, out tackling them, out running them, and just being flat out rude host to this Miami team yesterday, much like the Canes were to the Hokies the last 2 years down at the Orange Bowl. The key would be, could the Tech defense continue to play as well in the second half as it did in the first? Well, to be honest, it was even better. We should just rename today's show the J.C. Price Show. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, Hokies start with the football, third quarter action. Druckenmiller hooks up the white 10 yards, but boy, Miami really got nasty later. Here they get their lone sack of the day. Tech would have 6 sacks. Lewis gets that one for the Miami Hurricanes. All right, 10-7 game. Miami has the football. Clement in at quarterback, very highly touted kid coming out of Denver. Wonderful catch there by Green, a 37-yard pickup. But then watch Myron Newsom and Cornell Brown take over. There's Cornell on that play there. And watch number 55 coming from the bottom of your screen. Look out, Ryan Clement, meet Myron Newsom, the young man from Hampton. Hey, he can do it again on the next play. Ferguson has the ball. Hey, Newsom's excited. What a game he played, huh? Then later, J.C. Price, one of 3 sacks for J.C. Outstanding game for Price, maybe the best game he has ever played at Virginia Tech. The Hokies' run defense was absolutely outstanding. They held Miami to 51 yards rushing, and throughout the game, you could just see it. There was a blitz, and Yarborough coming up to make the tackle. The Tech defense, brilliant. 10-7 the score. We go to quarter number 4. Miami throws it. Green has a 10-yard pickup. The Hokies force a punt and a big play. Watch Angelo Harrison, number 83, coming across to block this punt. Third straight year the Tech has blocked a Mike Chrissy punt. And each time it has led to points. This time it leads to a Virginia Tech field goal. Hokies almost got in. Druckenmiller hooks up with Still down to the 2-yard line. This turns out to be a very short field goal, a 20-yarder, about the same distance as an extra point. Although Larsen missed 4 field goals yesterday, he did make that one. Tech led it 13-7, 10 minutes to go in the game. Look at this. They throw the ball down the field. It's caught by Jamie German, a 41-yard gain. Then an amazing scramble. Look at Torian Gray coming on a safety blitz. Oh, Clement gets away from him. Newsom chases him, so does Coleman. He gets away from him, but there's that man, J.C. Price, to chase Clement out of bounds. More aggressive defense. George Del Rico coming up the middle to get Clement for a sack. Again, Tech had 6 of them on the day. Here's a long ball, and Hokies get their second interception of the day as William Yarborough has it, heads out of bounds at about the Tech 35-yard line. We talked about the impact that Ken Oxendine would have on the Virginia Tech offense last week and earlier in this show. Look at this, 41-yard run with about 5 minutes remaining in the football game. Brings it all the way down to the Miami 33-yard line. Then with 2:08 to go, all the Hokies need is a field goal to clinch it. They're up by 6. This field goal attempt, however, wide right. It remains a 13-7 game. The door remains open for the Canes. They win with a touchdown and an extra point. On 3rd down and 1, Clement to Green, a 15-yard pickup to the midfield area. Then on 4th down and 1, Joseph jumps over for the first down, and Miami still going with 50 seconds left. But then the big play. Watch Hank Holman flush Clement out, and another sack for J.C. Price. One more chance for Miami. 4th down and 20. And watch the play Lauren Johnson makes going up against the Atle Green, knocks the ball away, and Virginia Tech has its first ever win over the Miami Hurricanes, and an outstanding win for Frank Beamer and company.
With 30 days in September, Heilig Myers Furniture says we'll beat any advertised price on any sofa we sell. Guaranteed. Even after you buy, if you find a lower advertised price on the same sofa, we'll pay you 110% of the difference. And if you don't like any sofa you buy from us, we'll take it back. Guaranteed. The September Sofa Double Guarantee. 2 reasons why no store, nowhere, no way, no how beats Heilig Myers.
We're Heilig Myers.
The University Volume 2 bookstore takes pride as the official new off-campus store at Virginia Tech. Our motto, proudly serving a great university, encompasses a variety of services. Our general books department boasts over 40,000 academic, technical, and professional titles. Volume 2, located at University Mall, open 7 days a week with a great selection of Hokie wear. For catalog orders, call 1-800-392-2756.
First, I figured I'd forgotten where I'd parked. And then I knew. I called my husband, the police, and Ken, my nationwide insurance agent.
Willie was upset. You don't get your car stolen every day.
2 days later, my car showed up.
Broken windows, scratches, I mean, nothing major.
It wasn't a pretty sight, but the check sure was. Ken got it to me the next day.
Helping someone, it's a good feeling. That's why I'm a nationwide agent.
Nationwide is on your side.
Hey, if you have a home computer, be sure to stop by the official World Wide Web homepage for the Hokies. That's the official homepage of the Virginia Tech Athletic Department. All the stats and stories from Virginia Tech's football program. Heck, you can even download the entire Tech football media guide. Check out all the other sports at Tech. It's updated all the time. Be sure to stop by the next time you're surfing. Hey, you can email us as well. vtvoice@vt.edu. That is our email address. We'd love to hear from you. A lot of folks had some very interesting comments after the Cincinnati game. We expect more this week after the Miami game. Drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you, your comments on our shows or on the Hokies. Well, what a win it was for Tech. They even their Big East Conference record to 1-1. They knock off Miami by the final score of 13-7. The key stat in the game, listen to this. Tech, 300 yards rushing. Miami, 51 yards rushing. You got to credit the lines. Tech's offensive line blew open holes all day long, while the Hokies' defensive line, and what a job J.C. Price did yesterday, and the entire Tech defensive unit. Well, Coach Beamer was a very happy man after the game yesterday, after becoming the first Virginia Tech football coach to ever beat Miami. Congratulations to Coach Beamer. And after the game, he spoke with our radio network analyst, Mike Burnup. Here's Frank and Mike.
Have you figured this business out yet? I mean, we sat here last week, and it was about as low as you can get, I guess. I mean, it's been very, very frustrating for you. And today, this has to rank up with one of your top wins.
Yeah, it does. This has been one of my toughest weeks, to be honest with you. But, you know, it wasn't the lack of effort ever with our players. I mean, it wasn't like our players weren't trying. We just couldn't click. And today is almost like we said we're going to click. And you know, I think we really found our football team. We were able to run that football. That offensive line, they were blocking, and those backs, Dwayne Thomas and Oxendine and Parker and Edmonds was running. You know, got some good play out of their tight ends, Brian Edmonds. We hit the one long one to Brian Steele, had a chance to hit another one. You know, I think we found our team there, and defensively, I respect our defense because those guys play hard and they fly around. Coach Foster and Coach Sharpless have done a great job there, and the whole staff, Todd Grantham, Lou West. You know, I just can't say enough about our players and our coaches because this hasn't been the easiest week now.
Yeah, you talked about last week this was not Tech football, and today it was like the old Tech. I mean, you ran the ball. I mean, Thomas had 165 yards. Oxendine had 81 yards. I mean, the defense was blitzing. It was a different team out there today.
Yeah, blocked blocked a kick and should have got it in the end zone.
Freshman blocks a kick.
Freshman blocks a kick, and another guy that's playing for the first time doesn't pick it up and take it into the end zone. That would have been a big play at the time because we ended up settling for 3 points rather than 7. But those are the things I'm talking about we can learn from here and be a better football team from today. But you're right. I mean, this is Tech football. This is the way I like to play it, and I think this is the way most of our fans like to see it. The toughness that you get when you're running the football good, and then you're able to throw the ball off of that, and when you get when you can throw that ball around, and then you got that toughness running, then you got something going. You can kind of get them back on their heels a little bit.
Take it from me, Coach. That staff was at the office very, very late each night this past week getting ready for this game, and congratulations to the Tech coaches. A great job preparation-wise. Well, yesterday you got to see on the football field a guy by the name of Lauren Johnson. He was that cornerback, a true freshman out of Miramar, Florida, very near Miami, that made all those big defensive plays late. The Canes kept picking on him. In fact, the final key play of the game, well, he broke up that pass intended for Green that gave the Hokies the win. And after the game, the Hokies' Mike Burnup caught up with the star of the final seconds of the game, freshman Lauren Johnson.
Playing was tough. It's a tough game always to play. I was excited. I came out calm and loose, though, not uptight. Everybody kept me loose. The defensive line, they really believed in me. They kept me going, and they gave me the motivation to do what I needed to do.
Yeah, I think we responded well to adversities and things like that. Now, we also have to give response to our offense. I think our offense played extremely well.
What was the difference between this week and last week?
I think this week we really got together as a team and came together, and we just began to focus. Even on Sunday when everybody came over here to watch a little film, we all just got together and sat around and talked and came out with some true feelings.
We definitely had something to prove today, and we definitely went out there and did it. We felt that we could run the ball on them, and our offensive coordinator said that's mainly what we're going to do is just run the ball and try to run it right down their throat. That's what we did. It opened up a whole bunch of holes. I think a Mack truck could have went through most of them. So I definitely got to give credit to our offense. We just definitely went out there and did what we had to do.
The line, they were spectacular. They were hitting their blocks. Everybody was precise with everything, and they were making holes. And the fullbacks, they were blocking their tails off, and they gave us the opportunity to run the ball.
Well, it sure is great to have Ken Oxendine back in the Tech lineup. Is it not? He certainly makes a difference. So the Hokies knock off the Miami Hurricanes. They go to 1-1 in Big East Conference play. Let's check out yesterday's other Big East Conference scores. Hokies knock off the Canes 13-7. Meanwhile, Ohio State knocked off the Pitt Panthers 54-14. Had a big day from Eddie George, their fine tailback. Penn State no trouble with Rutgers, although Marco Battaglia, the Scarlet Knight tight end, had 3 big catches for touchdowns. Syracuse was able to come up with a victory over a Big Ten team, knocking off the Golden Gophers by 10. West Virginia crushes Kent 45-6, while Boston College enjoyed an open date before next week's game at Michigan State. Temple had the weekend off before their home opener next Saturday at Veterans Stadium. And while they'll be playing in Philadelphia, we will be in Pittsburgh to see the Hokies and the Pitt Panthers. Tech has really crushed Pitt the last 2 years. This year, Johnny Major's team has improved. They're 2-2 on the season. They should really be 3-1. They had a tough loss down at Texas 2 weeks ago. John Ryan is back at quarterback. Dietrich Gels is back as a receiver as well and a big play guy. Billy West has missed the last couple of games for Pittsburgh, their fine tailback. They hope to have him back for the Tech game this Saturday. It's the Big East Conference television game of the week. It kicks off at noon. Our radio coverage in Virginia begins at 11 a.m. Eastern Time as the Hokies take on the Pitt Panthers. Pitt is 2-2. The Hokies are 1-2, but 1-1 in the Big East Conference as they get set for this game. Next Sunday, we'll have all the highlights, the Hokies and the Pitt Panthers, plus all the news from around the Virginia Tech football scene on next week's edition of Inside Tech Football. See you then.
This has been Inside Tech Football, brought to you by Advance Auto. Need a part delivered, PDQ, you'll find it in Advance. By Heilig Myers, we furnish America with value. By Delta Airlines, you'll love the way we fly. By the University Bookstore, your on-campus bookstore. By HQ, for fix-it-yourself home projects, it's HQ to the rescue. And by Kroger, if it's always good and always fresh, it's always Kroger.